of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Yes, people, we are live, as promised. The latest edition of the Members Hangout show here on United Sports of America. I hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. We are almost through the week, and I am oh so much closer to doubling up on the amount of children I have to look after. No, I'm not talking about Chewy. But how's everybody doing? I hope you're well. Welcome into the show. Obviously, there is a poll going live right now if you're so interested. The question is, what do you think gonna happen when Luton go to Tottenham? So far with 90%, Tottenham back to their winning ways. I love to see it. 5% says I don't know, but I'll be at the watch along. That is correct. I do have a watch along coming up. I have a watch along for it. My Wi-Fi connection is unstable. It's most unfortunate. For whatever reason, my internet has been absolutely bugging lately, but hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Big up to those of you who are going to be at the watch along. 9% says drawn coming from two mid teams. You know, some haters. Definitely got some haters, but that's okay. Maybe you just don't want us to. Maybe you just don't want to see us do well. But whether or not, however you feel, obviously, as you know, this is the Members Hangout show. You can call in or you can just hang out. I've obviously got some talking points, so just a little bit different than a regular episode. If you are a member of the YouTube chat, you can go right now to the community section. I think, yes, the community section. And in that community section, you'll find a link. And with that link, you know what that link will take you to? It will take you right into the back room. And then I'll bring you on. Kind of like this. Hello, AK. How are you doing?
Hello, Jacob. How you doing?
Oh, I am too blessed to be stressed, my friend. It's a very relaxing Thursday so far. Just getting ready for the weekend. Obviously, Tottenham have Luton coming up. I see the Manchester City wearing it loud and proud. You've got a little bit of a tougher match.
Yep. Arsenal. Arsenal.
You're just throwing up a prayer. That's all right. Hopefully your prayers get answered. I think it's not just your prayer. It's pretty much all of Tottenham's as well. We want to see Arsenal do very poorly. So hopefully you can do a job for us. But big up AK. Always see you in the chat. Good to see you here as a YouTube chat member. First and foremost, how are you doing? What are your thoughts on Tottenham so far? I want to get your perspective real quick. Just, did you know Ange Postecoglou before he came to Tottenham? And if you did, what was your opinion then? And if you didn't, either way, what's your opinion of him now and of Tottenham as a whole?
I must say, Ange Postecoglou. I've heard a couple of stories about Ange Postecoglou when he was at the Scottish League.
Well, so were they good stories, or was it what kind of stories?
I mean, I don't follow the Scottish League much as the Premier League, but I've heard he's been winning trophies with Celtic. With Celtic,
he won a treble. He did win a treble with Celtic, so he did what City was able to do. Well, I mean, granted on a lesser scale, but albeit you can only win the competitions you're in. I think the only thing he didn't win his last season there was obviously the Champions League, which they did play in. So I don't know. I didn't really know him. I didn't have any idea who he was, but really, I've been kind of taken aback. What do you think of his man management so far? His tactics, at least so far in the Premier League.
I must say, apart from the two other managers, I should say three managers that you had in the past, who were, yes, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, and Stellini. He's done a much better job with Tottenham. He's done a much better job with Tottenham, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I would agree with you if I'm honest. I have to agree with you because he's done a pretty good job so far. Uh, let me just let me also ask you: did you think that Tottenham at this juncture? Do you think that we're going to get top four? Do you think that United have a little push that they can have, or uh, maybe Aston Villa get that top? How do you see the top four shaking out in regards to Tottenham?
At the moment, top three itself is tight with with two of the biggest teams that are Liverpool and Arsenal, obviously, who are just blitzing through their way to win the Premier League. But I must say, Tottenham, they do have a chance if they don't bottle it. They do have a chance. And right now, Luton is your most important game now. You cannot afford to slip.
Yeah, well, I think it remains to be seen what Tottenham's going to do in regards to. Um, I don't know about bottling it, if I would say, because my expectations were pretty low in the summer personally. So I didn't really have necessarily like the biggest expectations, but I don't know. Let me see. Trying a new layout here. Let's see how this looks. Let me make it a little bit better.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Talk to me, AK. How do you see the match going between Arsenal and Manchester City on Sunday?
I mean, yeah, of course, we do have injuries on our side as well, but we've got a good bench, whereas Arsenal, they've got problems on their own with Saka and Martinelli injured.
Are they for sure injured?
I mean, a couple of sources have said that Saka and Martinelli are injured, so I don't know whether to believe that or not.
Well, I wonder. I do wonder. I'm just creating another layout here so I can add some media and we can go through. We can go through a little bit of the tweets that I have here. Very prepared for this show, as you can tell. There we go. How about that? How about this? And then I'm going to share my screen. Bang. Look at that. So I'm just going to rumble through here a couple of the talking points that I have. According to Fabrizio Romano, he was on a pretty big Tottenham channel the other day. Fabrizio Romano was. And apparently he says that Tottenham have some concrete interest in Brazilian Barcelona winger Rafinha, which is also something that we were linked with before we actually bought Richarlison. We were linked with Rafinha, and obviously he chose Barcelona over us. I don't know. For me, I think he's been pretty good in La Liga. I think that's when he was playing for Leeds, he was very much a standout player in that squad. But I don't really know. I haven't watched too much La Liga. Have you kept up with much La Liga there, AK?
You mean the championship?
Well, he's with Barcelona right now, so I was just.
Oh
meaning,
yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. With Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, he was injured for probably 2 weeks, I would say. But after coming back, he's probably still the same. So Barcelona aren't impressed with him yet. But I would say my guy Gundogan has been putting in the shifts.
Yeah,
Gundogan has.
You've kind of missed Gundogan, haven't you?
He was Captain Fantastic for us last year. He won us the treble.
Do you think Bernardo Silva can fill that role? Isn't that kind of what y'all were hoping for? Was Bernardo Silva to be the one to kind of help in that regard? I don't know. You tell me.
If you watch the Madrid game, Bernardo Silva, spectacular. the way he bossed Madrid, I must say, the way he bossed Madrid.
Oh, Bernardo Silva is a very talented player. Do you think that who's the player that you see as City's replacement for Gundogan? Because there's been a clear drop off, I think, from a lot of fans' perspectives that you have had this kind of. Oh, we've got another caller. That you've kind of had this drop off. Do you think that City's had a drop off?
I would say slight drop off. I mean, yeah, new faces in the City camp, I must say, with Kovacic, Nunes, Doku. I mean, it's Pep. Pep knows how to mold them into better players. So I have my confidence in Pep, and I believe he'll do a better job with them.
Okay. I think I don't know. I think I sent a message there in the private chat for the other caller. I don't recognize this name. So I just want to make, obviously you remember if you have the link, but as a channel, I want to make sure that no funny business kind of happens. So I just want to see, make sure you read that private chat real quick, CFC. I'm going to say hello to the chat real quick. Big up to Rowan Kumar, says Kuti wants to play Olympics instead of 5 Spurs matches. What do we say about this, Jacob? Hey, he said he wanted to play in the Olympics. He didn't say for how long, so this is pure conjecture. This is pure conjecture at this rate for me.
It is.
Cool, man. If you do want to turn your camera back off, you can. But I see you there now, so just wanted to see. Let me do this. I'm going to add item. Here we go. Since you don't have a camera, I'll do this. Hello, what is your name?
Hello, my name is Salman. I'm from the Middle East. I know you as Yaqub.
From San Beirut, Texas. You can call me Yaqub. You can actually call me whatever you like, as long as it's hopefully an endearing term. But how are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
You and
so
how are you doing, bro?
You're a Chelsea supporter.
Very good, bro. No, I'm so depressed about football, man. I don't want to. I stopped watching all Chelsea channels. I'm too depressing. Last 18 months.
I can imagine, bro.
Masterclass.
I can imagine, bro. Oh my god.
Do that. Well, I don't know what we're talking. We're talking about Rafinha. Have you watched Barcelona this season?
No, I watched only in the Champions League. But Rafinha is linked to who?
Apparently, per Fabrizio Romano, Tottenham are interested.
That's he's too close to Kulusevski, I think. What's the point?
I would say he has more pace than Kulusevski, and Kulusevski kind of sees himself.
I know you don't
in a
like
central role.
Kulusevski, but I know you
No,
have.
I don't dislike him.
agenda.
I like it when he does well. I would say that he's been far too inconsistent for me to really have any hope that he's going to be this fantastic player. But I don't know, man. I just think that there's more he could give us. He just isn't giving it, and that's kind of disappointing.
I think he will give you more than Kulusevski because Kulusevski is one-dimensional, so he is going to be inconsistent. Normal.
I agree with that. I do think he's a little one-dimensional, and people kind of sussed him out. Obviously, when you come into a new league, people are going to say, okay, what are you about? What do you do? But then when what he does is pretty good, you can still defend pretty good. I wouldn't say he was phenomenal at cutting it in on his left foot and putting it in the bins, but I don't know. I think
he reminds
me
of Hakim Ziyech
attitude, which is what I guess Ainge likes. What would you say he reminds you of?
Hakim Ziyech. He's not in numbers. He gets more numbers.
Was Hakim Ziyech a little bit faster though?
No, he was so slow. He's not fast.
Because
not
Kulusevski's not fast either, and that's
Yeah,
part
I
of my
think he's
frustrating
very
thing with
similar.
him is like I don't really see him as a legitimate winger when you can't really beat your man by going around him, or when you make runs in behind. If you get caught by the first guy, then to me that's just not good enough. I don't know.
But
Um,
the real problem is on the left. You have Werner for 16 million. That's going to happen, and you have Brendan Johnson. So what's he gonna do there?
well, I think in his ideal 11, Ange Postecoglou likes to go with Brendan Johnson on the left wing, Kulusevski on the right wing. And for me, it was effective versus Aston Villa, but then it was highly ineffective versus Fulham. And I wonder, okay, well, what are those reasons for? Well, Fulham they do play better when their opposition has more of the ball.
Yeah,
That is something that I found when I looked into their I guess with Spurs you can include it the last 6 Premier League matches, that when their opponent has more of the ball, they win. And it's the
yeah.
same thing that our tactics played right into their hands. And with
Three
Aston Villa,
nil
it's a
was
little bit different. But Aston Villa tried to adapt, and so like to me, they kind of gave up their philosophy, and this is actually a conversation I kind of want to get your opinion on. So they say Ange Postecoglou that he's Spurs fans, rival fans have said that he's naive, he doesn't adapt, he's afraid to change things up when things are not working. From a rival's perspective, and I'll ask AK this first. From a rival's perspective, do you think that Ainge is slow to adapt? Do you think that he's been found out and that's why Spurs haven't gotten as many good results lately? Or is it just an amalgamation of injuries, lack of squad depth, and a new manager in a new league? Where do you kind of see it, AK?
Uh, from where I see it specifically is it's like you have a mix of old and the new players in your squad, and I wouldn't say you lack squad depth a lot. You lack a little bit of squad depth. I mean, although you got some new additions to your team, you got Timo Werner. Then, of course, there was Richarlison last season. Then you got Mickey Van de Ven, who has been really, really good for you guys. And then you've got James Maddis. So I would say it's a mix of old and new players. But I would say it's the management. It's the management that is not being great for you guys throughout I would say 3 seasons as of now.
Do you feel like that's still true with Ainge? Do you think that Ainge is not a good enough manager?
No, 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 no. I mean, to be honest, you've hit the jackpot with Ange. You've hit the jackpot with Ange. Only thing is,
I
he's just
agree.
stubborn. And yeah, I mean, I feel that he's a bit. I mean, like he's getting a bit found out now. I mean, by other teams when he faces teams like Aston Villa, and you're obviously gonna face Arsenal soon. So I would say the one thing about Ange is he knows about his tactics. He knows that his tactics will work with all teams, but that's not the case because every single team will obviously know about Ange's tactics, and he will eventually be found out. So unless he changes his tactics, or unless he changes his approach, then he might start cooking for you guys.
What do you think about that, Salomon? So is it Salmon?
It's
Solomon? I want to
it's
say your name.
it's
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
It's
my
S
southern accent
A.
doesn't really help me.
No, it's good. It's Salman. It's the same
Salmon,
king's name. Yeah.
Salmon.
Uh. Yep.
I don't know why I want to say
There you go.
Solomon, but that's a completely different
It's
name.
okay. It's
So
some
apologies.
people don't. No, it's okay.
What are your thoughts? Same question for you in regards to
Uh.
Ainge and his management. Do you think he's slow to change it up? Maybe he's reluctant.
No, I think I agree with my friend here. I think you hit the jackpot with Punch because the way he
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think his Wi-Fi is
Yeah.
having some
I think
issues.
your connections there breaking up. I think we lost you. Yeah, I think he's gone for now. Big up Rowan says Rafinha representing that Adama Traore end product for Barcelona. Yeah, again, I haven't really watched too much Barcelona again outside of the Champions League as well. So I can't really comment on how he's done in regards to the season so far.
can you hear
Big
me?
up to Indian Gooner says City have fans. Yes, they do, and he's
Yes,
in
they
the
do.
UK.
Yes, they do. Know this.
Big up Henry. Ellie says your mic is loud. Young Man City fan. Sorry, I just joined and didn't catch your name. His name is AK. I guess I didn't help by covering his name up. His name is AK. Let me see. I didn't really think your mic was that loud, but it might be in comparison to mine. Let me see. It says it's automatically adjusting your mic, so it should be okay. I see your private chat, Salman, but I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello.
Okay, I was just about to say about Ange. I think you're gonna win a lot more games than you lose because of the style of play. The teams that get found out, like Emery can have a good 15 months and then he will get found out because of his style. I think Ange's style is more sustainable than any of the others, except the top three: Arsenal and Man City, Liverpool. Only this season, Liverpool. Uh, so I don't think he's naive. I don't think he's going to get found out. But you're gonna like, how do you win 4-0 away at Aston Villa and then lose 3-0 to Fulham in the same week? That's
It's
going to
interesting.
happen.
The one change in the 11 was Mickey Van de Veen. And for me, I understand that he's very crucial to what we're trying to do as far as with the more you have Mickey Van de Veen, I think the higher of a line you can run because of his recovery pace. And for me, I don't, I'm a little concerned with the fact that you remove one player and then all of a sudden we look drastically different. I am a
I think
little
maybe
concerned about that.
Dragustin is just wasn't that his first game start?
Yes, it was.
Is he fast? I haven't watched him.
Not that fast.
So maybe you need a very fast center back to play the high line, but I think you're gonna get like way more good result from that style of play than bad, because if you get clinical forwards like Son. If you don't, you're gonna have like this. You lose to Fulham 3-0, and then you beat Villa 4-0. So you have to buy a striker. You have to. I can't believe you still haven't. You've been linked to what's his name? Gift Orban for how many months now?
Well, we were linked with him last summer for a long time, and what it was they wanted over 30 mil for him, and we were offering like 19. And with Daniel Levy, he's pretty reluctant to budge on things like that. So,
That's crazy. I don't think you need him. He's too young. I think you need a can. Why don't you go for Vlahovic, Ivan Toney? You have the money.
Well, Ivan Toney, I don't think there's a discussion around Ivan Toney's attitude and if he would kind of work out in an Ainge Postecoglou system, just because
Yeah.
first thing that Ainge always says is he prefers character over talent, which is an interesting thing to say from a footballing perspective, because I guess there's the belief that he's going to mold him into a version of a player that can work in his system. I'm waiting to see that. So, I still have my doubts, so to speak, but for the most part, honestly, I've enjoyed very much this season, a lot more than I enjoyed last season. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy
And I,
streaming.
I hate
I did
Spurs.
not enjoy waking up at 5:30 to 1-0 wins versus Leeds. That wasn't fun. I won't lie.
Yeah. And I hated Spurs this season more than I hated them for at least 7 years since the Pochettino Stamford Bridge game. After that, I was just laughing every year. Get out of the FA Cup early, get out of the Carabao Cup early, go to the top four, and all that. But now, this season, I was really scared. I was seeing Arsenal and Tottenham all top of one first and the other second. I was like, it's too many chances now. No, London club is going to win the league, but you fall off thanks to Nicholas Jackson. Just gonna say.
Well, it was fun while it lasted, I won't lie. But that Chelsea match, I'm interested to see when we're actually going to reschedule that. Because
Yeah, I haven't.
we also have to reschedule another one with City. I think City we're going to play second to last before the season ends or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
the schedule's
maybe.
been super sad.
Do you think
We
you
got
will
Biggie
be
Biggs.
on the top four by that game, the City game? You think you have to win that game, or you will be comfortable getting
Oh, you're
top
asking
five?
me?
No, you're City. Of course, you're comfortable getting top four. I'm asking about Spurs because
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
Spurs.
Villa.
I would say we have as good of a chance as anybody to get it. I've just always kind of felt like I'm not so sure that I want it. And I've been getting a lot of stick from Spurs fans because of my take, and some rival fans that say that my take is kind of crazy because I don't know that I want Champions League. Because to me, I'm scared that that's going to indicate to the board that we're done, that they job done. We got a manager, we got minimal investment, and we got the job done. Which their job is to get as much money as possible. The board and Daniel Levy specifically, and by getting Champions League, that signals they're doing the right thing. It's almost like rewarding a kid for doing the bad thing. Like you want to tell the kid, no, it's not that you don't want to reward the bad behavior. And I think that we've been mismanaged for very long in regards to our first team. From the business perspective, you cannot argue that we've been the most dominant because of the revenues that we've had. But from a footballing perspective, first team perspective, we have been mismanaged, and that's evident by the lack of success on the pitch. And to me, I have hope that something may change and that we may end up seeing some kind of different way of thinking in regards to how our club operates. But by all intents and purposes, it doesn't sound like that's the case. So getting Champions League to me would signal that they're good, that they don't need to do anything else. And I like competing in competitions that I compete
You
in
think you'll
competitions that I
win?
have a chance to win. And people would say, oh, well, you shouldn't compete in the Premier League then with that perspective. And I kind of think that that's a little bit silly, a little reductive in regards to the argument. Because for me, again, this is just for me, I don't get no money if we make Champions League. Yeah, the club does. And you're telling me that the club that's mismanaged this first team for so long is somehow, when we get Champions League, going to say, yes, I'm going to use all this money in return and invest it back into the first team and make us go on to be able to challenge for something. And that just hasn't been the case ever. So I wouldn't believe that it's going to happen now. And, if we get top four, I think we can. Like, to answer your question, you asked if I could, if I think that we can. I think that we can. We have just as much of a chance as anybody else. I'm just not so sure that I really care if we do or don't, because if we do, that's cool, and I hope that it leads to some great stuff. I just have a reluctancy to believe that it's actually going to because of what's happened in the past, to be honest.
I
So,
heard this all the season. I heard that Daniel Levy has changed. I
well,
heard that from a lot of Spurs fans saying that he has changed, and there is evidence of that from the January.
there is in regards to reinforcing that thought process. There is some evidence to suggest that is the case. So There are more people in between Daniel Levy and the footballing decisions. I like the players we get, and at the end of the day, it's just the money that gets finagled, and our whole structure of scouting and recruitment is different. I mean, just today, actually, I do have a tweet about it. Just today, there's still more shit going on with our scouting and recruitment. So this tweet here says that Tottenham are letting go of Ian Broomfield, Augusto Benito, and Colin Jackson, three of the club's longest serving scouts, as part of the ongoing restructuring of their football staff. So we've been restructuring the entire thing. This here shows that we're still doing it. This came out today from CD Eccleshare and Jack Pitts. That we are getting rid of our three longest serving scouts. To me, this is an indication of change. There has been indications of change, really, when you look at some of the business in regards to the prospects we have been getting, like Van de Veen, instantly comes in, makes a difference. Vicario instantly comes in, makes a difference. And it may be shameless of me, but I've put him up there in regards to the best goalkeeper in the league. And some would say Allison, and you're probably right, but I'm still saying Vicario because that's my guy. But and then you look at Destiny Udogie and Papa Matisar. Those were two deals where we bought the player, loaned them back, and then now we're getting them, and we're starting to see some real talent there. And when we got Papa Matisar, all the other scouts, like there was other people from other clubs that said, "Wow, they got Papa Saw." Like he was on a lot of people's radar. So like we've been doing some things differently in the last 2 to 3 years, or I would say 2 years maybe, in regards to our scouting and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, again, let's look at the most recent bit of business in regards to January. We needed a warm body, so what did they do? The easy thing, which I wasn't actually too upset about. Timo Werner on loan. His wages are pretty high, but we're not paying all of that, so that's actually a good deal. I don't want to extend his option at this juncture, but if he scores a hat trick in
I think they will.
the final nine matches, I'll sign him. But it's like that to me is if we sign him, that is a clear indication to me of where we're at, like as a mindset of our club still. Because if we extend Timo Werner, that is a stopgap. To me, we already have a Timo Werner. What does he offer? Maybe something off the bench in regards to pace and ability to carry a ball forward, but not much else. And we already have that with Brendan Johnson. So for me, I'd rather just keep Brendan Johnson in that role of and go and get a legitimate winger. Go and get Kvaratskhelia. You go and get Kavicha, then we might be talking something nasty. You might be talking to me nicely. What's up, AK?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to come in. Actually, I'm thinking if you have looked at Timo Werner at Chelsea, he was bagging goals for them. If you have seen during the 2021 season.
I wouldn't say bagging. He was getting like 9.
He was getting a lot
assists.
of chances,
Assists.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was creating a lot of chances.
He had the same season Darwin Núñez is having right now, like 11 goals, 13 assists, like that. But he wasn't bad.
Yeah, and I would say keeping Brendan Johnson on the wings, he's not been impressive so far. I think he's not been impressive.
The thing is that I say with this system, and in regards to, like, I guess a positive you could say in regards to Timo Werner specifically, is that this system doesn't require technical brilliance. It just requires very simple things. And the things that it does require, Timo Werner does have, Brendan Johnson does have. But to me, it's more the business side. Like, I understand the prospect of them as a player, but like from a business side, I guess Ainge is always used to working with a very small budget and a very toned down version of as far as the availability of players and the talent level. But to me, Timo Werner, like, I mean, he has 4 GA in 8 appearances. He could have 8. He could have 10, 12 because of the way the system sets up. And to me, it's that inability to be in the final. We may as well sign Adama Traore is kind of my thought process with this all. Is like, his wages are going to be extremely high for what you can get from him. I'd rather take that 18 mil or whatever it is that his option has in the contract. I'd rather spend that on a legitimate winger, one that can do all the things that we've mentioned, Brennan and Timo can do, but more.
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto.
Yeah, but he's also injured.
Yeah,
He's also injured
that's
a
true.
lot. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, but
he did cook
if,
us.
if- yeah,
Everyone
but
that we've ever been
Jacob.
linked with cooks us.
Yeah, Jacob. If you've seen his previous matches against United and his past 3 games, he was very effective. I would say Pedro Neto for you guys is not a bad option.
I mean, I think he's a hell of a player. I'm just not so sure if he's.
Yeah,
gonna
like
get
you
us
said,
a
given
full
his
season.
injury
We have
record,
enough
yeah.
players. We have enough players that are kind of like that. I mean, James Madison, to be specific. Big up George gifting him United Spurs of America membership. I appreciate you, George, my friend. I don't know. It doesn't say who it got gifted to. Can y'all see who it got gifted to? I just refreshed and it still doesn't. Does anyone in the chat see who got gifted this membership? Because I don't see. Let me refresh again. Let me see if that helps. No, I don't see. It doesn't show me who got gifted. Oh, that sucks. No, it doesn't show you. Big up George gifting a membership. Just I don't know who got it. I don't know who got it. But big up, man. I appreciate that. Big up Jess Talks Football. How are you doing? Big up. Good to see you in the house. Hello, Cormac. Arsenal DeGroot says, got a strong feeling Manchester United would nick Ainge away from Spurs. I thought he was talking about top 4. But he said,
I would say slight
take Ainge
chance. I mean,
away.
of course, United are picking up, but you guys better just get those wins straight away. You better do if you have a chance of making top 4.
Well, the top 4, to me, I'm just going to go with the flow. I have no expectations still. I have just as much doubt in the eventually because of it. We just never stop doing it. We never stop doing it. We have, like y'all mentioned off top, great performance away at Villa, 4-0, taking out a top 4 side. And then we play Fulham. They're below Chelsea. Shout out Solomon. But they're below they're below Chelsea. And they've conceded a lot of goals as well. And we couldn't get one.
Yo, Salman,
Yeah.
watch out.
Yeah. No, I'm not poach out.
You're not
Bully
Poch
out.
Oh, I
Bully
do
out.
want to talk. Hang on, I do want to talk about this. I do want to talk about this. Big up
Yeah.
George gifting another membership, and it does show me this time who got gifted. Big up Dry Roast Peanut. You have been gifted a membership. This is the members hangout. You know, a lot of members throughout the weeks, they're always like, Jacob, when you doing the hangout? When are we going to do the hangout? I do the hangout, and you know what? So far only 2 people have showed up, but hey, such is life, I suppose. But big up George, Dry Roast Peanut. You are able to call into the show if you so desire, my friend. ¿Cómo estás, amigo Jacobo? Come on, you Galapagos Islands, para siempre. Arsenal, no.
Goodness, huh?
Arsenal
Goodness in the building.
Don Tijuana. Mucho gustos. Muy bien. Usted is what I would say to you. I'm doing well. Big up, George. I appreciate you, my friend. Biggie Big says Neto now has hamstring issues in both legs. No thanks. We already do have a player who likes to have hamstring issues in both legs, and that is Ryan Sessegnon. So we have plenty of those talented players but when they come to Tottenham, they, for some reason, are no longer so talented. Let me ask you, Solomon.
Yeah.
You said you're not Ponch out. Tell me
I'm
why.
not. Because there is no coach in the world right now for me that can get us above 7th with that squad. I'm not gonna say no one is gonna do a better job than Poch. Of course, I think Amorim could. I think De Zerbi could. I think what's his name, Alonso could. I think even Graham Potter with this squad could. I'm not saying Pochettino is doing well now, but the squad, the injuries, the inexperience, all of that, I don't think one manager can help that. I think the structure needs to do a lot of work for a manager to succeed. I don't think Pochettino is the problem. I hate him, by the way. I don't like him. I hate him, but I don't think he's the problem. I wouldn't sack him, even if he doesn't win the FA Cup. By the way, we
two
have
cup
games in
finals
hand.
though in his first season in a rebuild in a crazy. This is the worst version of Chelsea I've ever seen, as far as management. Roman, he was the sugar daddy. He was what you need, what you want. Here you go, whatever you
Yeah.
need. And if it ain't working, goodbye. And it was very ruthless. And I've said from the beginning, even when things were going way south for Chelsea, I said I don't see Todd Bowley and this board sacking Pochettino because, to be honest, this is their little project. That would be an
You know what the
indictment
problem
of
is?
their ability to correctly appoint people, in my opinion. And there's too much American pride in the Todd Bowley in this group. I think there's too much pride in regards to conceding and saying, "Oh, well, we obviously got it wrong." What's your opinion on that, Salman, in regards to your ownership?
Uh,
Because
uh,
obviously I've talked a little bit about Daniel Levy. You know how Daniel Levy has been.
yeah,
You
I
know
know
the
Daniel
rep,
Levy.
but
Yeah. The most annoying thing about this Todd Bowley thing, Todd Bowley is only a minority shareholder. There is Baghdad Iqbali and there is Feliciano. They are the major owners of the club of this stock. Todd Bowley is just the name that gets scapegoated in the media, so nothing helps. We need to talk about Clear Lake. Clear Lake, the group that owns the club, with a lot of shareholders. So they have nobody that knows about football in the structure of the club, and I don't know if they're stupid or they're too confident. They sacked everybody, everyone they sacked at the club.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Manager,
I mean, like they let Kante go. They sold Kovacic. They sold Mount.
they sold Jorginho, Kovacic, Mount, Kante in the same year. How can you? And they also sold like over 18 players and brought in like close to 20 players in only in these 2 years. So
Kids
what do you
FC, bro.
expect?
Kids FC.
Yeah, Epstein FC. That's what they call it. So
that's a whole subject. Don't open that can of worms with me. That's why I opened
yeah,
a side channel so I could find a bunch of people who enjoy conversing about this stuff, and then we
yeah.
could
You
head on
have
over to a
you
different
have the
channel.
Joao Pedro one. You have the Joao Pedro one.
Oh, I'll say that loud and proud. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Jao Pedro
Remove the R.
15. Yeah, remove the R from Pedro. That's the one. You know already. Big
Yeah,
up Jess. There's Jess's channel right there. Again, I put a little banner down there. Link to call in if you are interested as a YouTube member. You want to call in. Big up Arsenal DeGroot with some nice words there. Even as an Arsenal fan. But look, Salman,
yes.
what's your opinion on Clear Lake? And there's obviously been some uproar making big news in regards to the Chelsea fan base and how they feel about things. Where do you stand?
No, no. I live in the Middle East, so I can't do protest. I can't do all that. But now I'm very happy because there are a lot of protests, not only by Chelsea fans, by Strasbourg fans in France,
Mm.
because it's the same group that own Chelsea. So there's been a blue co out movement in the last like month for some Chelsea fans, Chelsea supporters group, and all the Strasbourg fans. So there is movement, and it can be fixed 100% because it's only been 1.5 years, so they can fix it. I think in 1 year they can bring experienced players. They can bring better what they call it, the scouts, because we have Win Stanley and Stewart who are making all the signings. Top Ball is not making signing anymore. The last time he was supposed to make a signing, he went to Barcelona for Rafinha, and that failed. So after that, we got Paul Winstanley and Stewart. These two make all the signing. They signed all the players in the last January and the January before that, and the summer before. So we need, first of all, to sack them, two, Winstanley and Stewart. We need new head of recruitment, and then the board can they can fix it. They can bring 5 experienced players to this team and keep the good ones that we have now, like Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Caicedo, Malo Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo, Badiashile.
What do you make of Enzo? Real quick, I'm going to stop you. I'm just going to ask you random questions because I don't actually get Chelsea fans on the channel very much. So
yeah.
What do you make of Enzo Fernandez? Now, for me, my most recent watch of him in the Argentina side, I thought he looked pretty woeful. But I can't say I've watched Chelsea intensely and outside of the really big matches. Obviously, I've seen you draw twice with City. I obviously watched y'all beat us when we went down to 9 men. Specifically, and only when we went down to 9 men. That's just me punching on the way down, by the way. But
yeah,
Enzo Fernandez, where are you at? I think this has divided a lot of footballing fans' opinions. Chelsea fans, rival fans, etc. I think they all.
There's a lot of Chelsea fans that hate him, legit hate him. But I was like you. You have the Kuti shirt. I had the Enzo shirt with the number 8 at the start of the season.
I got it right there. You can't see it because my camera's cut off.
I had that Enzo shirt. But this season, to be fair, he's been our worst midfielder out of the 3. Conor Gallagher, Caicedo, Enzo. He is the worst. I know.
I do have a question about Gallagher as well. So if you want to talk about just your midfield in general.
Yeah, I'll talk about the midfield. Caicedo has been the best. I don't care the memes. I don't care about that. For me, I watch every single game. He has been our best midfielder. Full stop. Gallagher has been our second best midfielder. Enzo has been the third best. Obviously, Lavia is just a nightmare. He played 30 minutes all season. He's been injured all season. So that probably could be 60 million down the drain. Lavia is injured again. So we have also that young French Leslie Aguchuku who has been injured. But Enzo, he's not been good this season. When he came in January last season, he was our best player. I was so gassed because I was like, we have all these players that want to leave, like Kovacic, Havertz, Mount, all this. And I'm seeing Enzo playing, and they're playing better because he just joined in January. So I was so gassed. All the summer talk was get him his partner that can make him go forward, like Caicedo. So we got Caicedo, Lavia. So Enzo was supposed to be this season like one of the best midfielders in the league, and he's been not one of the best midfielders in Chelsea. So he's been disappointing. Of course he's been. And for all the fans that were after the Aston Villa game when he scored and he took off his shirt and all that, and say, oh, like he's not leaving, shut up. He did that with Benfica and then left like 4 days after that. He did the same celebration with Benfica, then left to Chelsea. So that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I do remember that specifically.
In
that
the
was
summer,
a fun little meme
if in the summer Fabrizio Romano gets in contact with Enzo's agent and Enzo wants to leave, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm kind of expecting it because 2 years, that's not.
What do you...
Oh, yeah, Salman.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AK.
Yeah.
I heard about Romeo Lavia injured again.
Yep, he's injured again. He's been injured all season, and then he played 30 minutes.
Yeah, he said his season's done. He tweeted that.
Yeah,
he
said.
Did a post about it.
Which is very, 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 very worrying because if he starts next
pretty
season
sad.
and then get injured again. Yeah.
He's pretty highly rated by a lot of people, I think. Myself included. I wouldn't have minded us signing him from Southampton.
I wanted it more than Caicedo, but that was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But Conor Gallagher has
big up Lee Smithy Smith. Big up David Calvino. He's asking if you're from Malta.
Malta? Where is
He
Malta?
says Chelsea guy sounds like he's from Malta.
In
What do you
Europe,
wanna
bro.
know?
In Europe.
No, I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm from the Middle East.
He's from the Middle East. There you go. Not from Malta. World Cup winner Kuti comparison to Enzo. I mean,
Enzo won the
let's
World
not
Cup with him.
Big up Kuti Romero every single time for that. Big up Just a Harmless Potato. You got gifted a membership, my friend. I don't even know if you were here when you got gifted that. Big up Robin. You are late, but that's okay. You show up whenever the hell you want. What was I?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Because this is very annoying me a lot about Nicholas Jackson. Do you really think he's not good enough, or do you really think that just about from the memes that early of the season he had against Bournemouth and all that?
I think that
Would you take
he
him?
had.
Would you take him for Werner? Honestly, Timo Werner.
I don't know. I mean, this guy was a winger. I never saw him for Villarreal. He was originally a left winger that became a striker because y'all needed a striker, to my knowledge. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with that." I think he's decent. I don't think he's as
He's
bad
got
as everyone says, but some
yeah,
of his
exactly.
finishing has been atrocious. And when it is that level of atrocity, people will say, "Oh, that's not good enough," or "I don't
But
really
his
like that."
finishing
You know,
is
so I'm not really
nowhere.
surprised to see some of that attention that have been attracted to him that way.
I'll
Big
tell
up
you this.
Potato.
His his, uh, his finishing is definitely better than Werner. I'll tell you this. His finishing is definitely better than Werner. He's not a good finisher, but he's definitely better than Werner in finishing. I think he's very good, man. On the left,
Well, I would say
especially.
you've probably seen Werner more than I have in his years at Chelsea, and then you've also seen Jackson more
Yeah, I
than I have.
watched him
So I
for
would
3 seasons. I loved Timo. I loved Timo so much.
Oh, someone said they love
Yeah,
Timo.
yeah. I hate Havertz. I
Timo,
hate Mount, but
Havertz.
I love Mount. No. I only liked Timo. Havertz, I didn't like him. I didn't like Mason Mount. Really, I didn't like him. I really liked Timo, but hopefully it's only a loan and he goes back.
I don't.
I can just imagine the Timo dagger at Stamford Bridge this season. I will lose it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really rate Nicholas Jackson personally very highly, so I don't know. I guess I really haven't made my opinion up in regards to like how I rate the guy personally. So
Based on numbers, he's got 12 goals and 3 assists. So it's not that.
y'all have
I
created a bunch
mean,
of chances
Jacob.
as well. Yeah, go ahead, AK.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jacob. If you want to have a deeper view of this, I was just have a look at his stats when he was in Leipzig, when he played for Leipzig.
Before he went to Chelsea. Yeah, everyone loved him. I remember when Chelsea signed him, I remember being very, very jealous. I rated him, and then seeing him at Chelsea kind of tainted my image of him. And then he goes to Leipzig, and then there was some other guy who played his position who was just a lot better. And then he never got in, and I think he was injured, and then he came back. And to me, I kind of see the way he saw this loan deal as a chance for him to get healthy and maybe prove to the German squad that he should be selected for the Euros. That's kind of how I saw this. So I've always viewed Timo Werner as a stopgap. And even when Ainge made his introductory conference talking about Timo Werner, he was not. It wasn't the most glowing reviews. It was pretty much what I've just said. That he's like, here's a guy who has shown really good things, who has played in this league. He is a Champions League winner with Chelsea, so he does bring some little bit of experience. He has played the league. That's why when we went to Old Trafford, I was like, okay, well, he's played at Old Trafford. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm at Old Trafford. He's been there before. So I didn't mind him coming in on a 6-month deal. It's just the permanency. I'm not, I haven't seen anything that says, yes, we should, other than he's a very enjoyable guy as a character. I think he's got a good character. I like his personality. I like the running in behind, and he's dangerous in that sense. But I mean, I also saw versus Fulham, we created a chance for him right in front of goal. All you got to do, just put your foot there, redirect that ball into the goal. Just put your foot there, redirect it into the goal. And he couldn't do it. Neither did Brendan Johnson. They both failed to do it. And it wasn't the tactics that let us down. It was the players. So for me, he's one of those players that if we do sign him, he's going to be on large wages and he's going to continue to let us down. So to me, I want some ballers. I don't want people, if they let us down, it's like, okay, well, they still offer me so much that this is okay that they let me down this time. Timo Werner missing wide chances and clear-cut chances, one-on-ones with the keeper. He's already missed 2 or 3 of those for us. To me, he's one of the most frustrating players to watch because it's just like, same thing with Brennan and Kulu as a winger. I just get very frustrated when I watch them. If you tune into any of my watch-alongs, you can tell that I get very, very frustrated. And no, Timo, he did not get called in for this international break. So the German coach still doesn't rate him. Richie's got another injury. That is true. Big up Derek Smith. Says Ainge says that he needs 2 or 3 windows, so 25-man squad incoming. Yeah, we've always said that, right? At least on this channel, I've always said before I really judge Ainge Postecoglou, I want to see some players for him. So that's just my personal opinion. And Derek Smith, I'm talking to a Man City guy because this is a member's call-in, and he's a member of the channel. And regardless of who he supports, he's allowed to share his opinion. That's part of his rights as a member. I would say that. Yes, and big up George. Check out Hotspur Hippie every single time. Do you want ESR? No. Would anyone here take ESR at their team?
What's the difference between him and Pedro Neto? They're all injured all the time. Good players, but injured all the time.
I would say there's at least a substantial amount of recent tape you could put from this year specifically where you could put out and say this is what Neto's done this year. That's a clear difference between him and Emil Smith-Rowe. I would also say another
Smith-Rowe.
Yeah.
To be fair to Smith-Rowe, he's been fit this season. Not all this season, but he's been fit, but not playing a lot, I think.
Yeah.
He's not been playing. So,
I mean, is that because he's not good enough, or is that because the manager's talent ID is so fucked? Oh, if we got Kvaradona and Blahovic in June, talk to me nicely. I will be reckless. I will be.
That would be dangerous, very dangerous.
My club has already distanced himself from doing that.
Vlahovic.
Pochettino is a fraud, man. We had the chance to swap Lukaku and 35 million in the summer for Vlahovic, and he vetoed it.
He was the one that didn't want that? That's confirmed?
Yep. You can go back and research it. He's the one that said no, thank you. You could have get rid of Lukaku and get Vlahovic for 30 million.
Yeah, I would have bit your hand off for that personally. And I remember thinking if y'all did get Vlahovic, that'd be a problem. If you get Osimhen, he could be a problem. There's a lot of reasons.
But Osimhen's not been great. Osimhen's not been great after the AFCON.
You're saying Arsenal haven't been great?
No, I'm saying Osimhen.
Oh, Osimhen. Sorry, because as you were saying that, I had another guest pop up. So let me see here. Let's go this. And then let's welcome to the stage a very big supporter of the show. Wait a minute. He's very small. There he is. We've got Chang in the house. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
A very good Friday morning to both of you gentlemen from Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, here in Southeast Asia. I hope both of you are doing very, very, very well on this lovely Friday morning. I hope both of you are also looking forward to this weekend's fixtures because there are some very mouth-watering clashes. Of course, because this is a Spurs channel, the Spurs fans and also the members here are looking forward to the Spurs versus Luton game on Saturday. But I think the big clash would be Manchester City versus Arsenal, and I would love nothing more than to see Manchester City put one over Arsenal. You can clip this, you can check this, but yeah, it's gonna be Man City all the way for me to lift the Premier League title this season. Back to you,
We
Mr.
will lift the
Lawraven.
Premier League title.
What was your who? AK, did you have a question?
No. I didn't have a question.
Oh, maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was Solomon. Big up Chang, man. Good to see you. I love that kit. That's a great looking kit, man. I can't lie. You have like a whole slew of shirts behind you, so. And you came out the bat just really just shooting at the Gunners. And honestly, I like it. I like the energy. So that's my guy right there. Love to see it. I don't really know what my question was, but big up Chang, man. Every single time. I forgot my question already.
No, can I ask a question?
Let me ask you a question then, Mr. Lawraven.
Yeah, go on. No, go on.
Sorry,
go
just
ahead.
let me quick ask Mr. Jacob a very quick question. How far away is your baby daughter now?
Between today and 2 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, where's
So-
Chewy? Where's Chewy?
Chewy, he's outside. I have him on the patio, chilling out there. He's getting some sun. He's got some health issues, and we can't keep him in the house for right now. Yeah, unfortunately. But
Okay.
yeah, it's just because he's thirsty and he drinks a bunch of water and then he can't hold it and then he pees and it's all in the house. So it's like we just got to keep him on the patio for now. But my daughter is due between now and 2 weeks, so any minute now. Any minute now. Life's been actually super crazy. Yeah, I appreciate that. Life's been super crazy, moving crazy, but super thankful, man. Super thankful, super blessed. So I will be taking a little bit of a maternity leave, so to speak, from YouTube and streaming when the baby does come. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And the good news is, now that we know the time frame of when she's going to be here, she'll be here with plenty of time for me to take maternity leave and come back before the North London Derby. So that's very nice to see. Very nice to see.
That's good.
Big up. What was your question, Solomon?
I was just going to ask you, just to end up with the Chelsea thing, because it's too depressing. Do you guys think we have 12 games left, one FA Cup and the rest is Premier League? Do you think if we get 7th, not 8th, 7th Europa League, and win the FA Cup or don't win the FA Cup, is it a good season?
I'll let someone else answer that first.
Honestly, just between you and me, Mr. Salman, I would very much like to see Pochettino win a trophy in Britain, regardless if it's with Chelsea or if he goes back to Southampton or if he ever comes back to Spurs. For me, Pochettino is too good a manager to not win any silverware in Britain, much like Big Ange. That's just my own take.
You would like
and this
him?
is not,
you would like him to win with Chelsea?
I couldn't care less where he wins with. I mean, this could be just me being a hopeless romantic or maybe a bit too over sentimental with regards to Pochettino and his tenure over at Spurs, because I felt that Pochettino had more than ample opportunities to win silverware at Spurs. It's just that Daniel Levy, the crook that he is, just constantly let him down time and time again. And if this was a season for Pochettino to rebuild, then I would say the rebuild is well underway. But just like Big Ange and his Ange Ball revolution at Spurs, this sort of rebuilds take time. And you already qualified, or rather you've made it for one League Cup final, which is great, which is good. And you are on track for yet another cup final, which is also very all good and well. But do not get disheartened. Do not, throw the manager under the bus, as they say over in Britain. if he doesn't lift any silverware, or even if he doesn't qualify for Europe, because we've seen it happen with the likes of Gianfranco Zola, with Conte himself, even with Jose at some point, where things won't go swimmingly well for you, put it this way, in your very first season, and it will take a very strong effort. You will take a very strong finish to the end of the season for Chelsea to lift the supporters from the doom and gloom since Roman Abramovich gave
Yeah.
up control of the club. So yeah, I would say be patient with your manager, support him as best as you can, and if Pochettino is anything like he was when he was at Spurs over 5 years ago, great things are coming your way at Chelsea. Back to you, Mr. Salmon and Mr. Walraven.
Hope so. I
Big
hope
up.
so.
AK, what were you gonna say? I know that you were about to chime in there too. What are your thoughts on it?
The moment I'm a bit 50-50 on Poch at the moment, but yeah, I would say he's got a better support system at Chelsea than he got at Spurs. But if Poch can capitalize on this squad and try to make a better playing 11 and at least reach Europe, he can at least get Chelsea to a Europa League spot. And from there on, Chelsea gets Europe, in my opinion. If Poch decides to make a proper playing 11 with injuries.
You think Chelsea can get European football?
I think we can get Conference League.
What place is that now? Since fifth is,
I think eighth or not, maybe ninth if Aston Villa win the conference. But we have 2 games in hand on West Ham, I think, and
so you have 39 points. I'm looking here. Chelsea have 39 points in 11th. You have a game in hand, and you need 8th. You said.
We need 8.
Yeah, it's only 3 points away. You could win. If you win, you're tied on points with Brighton in 8th. West Ham's played 29, so you got.
If we win our next 4 games, which is Burnley at home, Manchester United at home, Sheffield United away, and Everton at home. If you win that, we get 12 out of 12. We're 6th, I think, or 7th. So
I can see that. You're actually not that far away.
You'll at least get top 10. You'll get top 10 at
very
least.
few points. Yeah, it's very few points that separate Chelsea from Conference League spots. So that's actually not a crazy take. Crazier than I thought, because I had honestly thought there was more points that separated y'all. A big up. Hey, Chang, you've upset a few people. They don't want to see Chelsea doing it. For me, I'll say as a Spurs fan, when Pochettino went to Chelsea, it's fuck you, Poch. That's just how it had to go. You know the crying Wesley Snipes where he's crying and he's got the gun, but he's crying. He's like, I got to kill you now, but I don't want to, but I have to. And I think it was like that, my feelings for Poch. I had to put him to the side. And what really cemented that was when I saw him giving his introductory speech in a Chelsea training top. I was like, this is disgusting. This is vile.
You were making fun of his tight tracksuit. I remember that.
I said, I did. Yeah, I did. Me and Paul had a fun time. We broke it down. I was like, bro, you could have gone up one size. Like as a man, when you get a little older and your body looks a little bit different, it's no shame in going up a size. And that was just my advice to him at the time. And honestly, the way his arms were on the chair, the arms of the chair, and the way that his arms were there. He may have been handcuffed there. I don't know. I think he was. So I thought he was hostage, number 1. And then number 2, just a little bit more breathing room on the training top there, bud. Those are my 2 takeaways mostly from it. But at the end of the day, I was like, cool. I don't even care anymore because I have Ange Postecoglou. Let's see what he could do. And then I would say in the first 10 matches, Pacha who is what I said. I forgot him so quickly. And you know, again, he works for the enemy, so I can't support him in any endeavor that he has. But whenever I do talk with Chelsea fans, and there's this position that they hold of Pochettino out or he's the problem and this and that, I kind of see it like I don't think he's the problem. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm
He's
not
not.
trying to be a defender of Pochettino necessarily. But I don't think he's not like the main problem at Chelsea personally.
I'll tell you the percentage. Just to finish, I'll tell you the percentage for me. It's 70% on the ownership, the whole ownership, and 20% on Pochettino, 10% on the players this season. For me, this season. I'm not talking about last season. It's 20% Pochettino, 10% players, 70 the ownership.
So it's basically becoming like United.
Oh, this is what it's gonna be. It came way too early. United took them like how many years for the protests and all that. Now it's only 1 year and a half or 2 years maybe, and everything is going down.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, I agree with you there. I just, yeah, I agree with David Calvino as well. Chang is entitled to his opinion, and David's also a fan of Poch. You have to respect what he did for our club. I do respect it, but again, it's like I'm very petty, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I am a very petty individual, and when I've, been look, we didn't call him, so I have no I'm not angry with him. I'm not mad at him as a human. I don't hope him bad as a human, but in a professional world, I do wish him nothing but the worst in his profession while he's at Chelsea. If he goes somewhere else, hey, go cook. I hope you win whatever it is unless it's against us. But to be fair, what he's doing is to take us down. Let's not remember it was versus his side that we completely had the wagon wheels fall off. And to me, I just
That was crazy.
appreciate what he did. Gave me my fondest memories as a Spurs fan. I no shame in admitting that. But we also never won a fucking trophy with him. So to me, he's not like the reincarnate of Bill Nicholson or something. To me, he doesn't, make me feel some type of way because it ultimately. But again, kind of like what Cheng was saying, I don't blame him 100%. This club did nothing to help him, and he was making miracles out of stardust. And to me, that's not. You can't sustain. It's not sustainable to just continually hit lightning like that. And we saw it over time. Eventually, it broke it down. He was getting bad results. He had to go, and then we brought Jose Mourinho to try and rekindle that stardust that we saw have some magic. And then to me, that's where it's just like we're not going anywhere right now, because then 5 days before a final that we got to, we sacked we sacked
Jose.
Mourinho. So yeah, rip Jose, man.
Can I ask you something
Should
very
at least
quickly,
let him
Mr. Jacob?
lose that match, then sack him. Yeah, what's up, Chang?
I'm going to ask this to the Spurs fans in the chat and also to you as well. Throwing back, this is a question which I've had for quite some time now, since Pochettino took over Chelsea this season. Seeing the trajectory of Pochettino's career and what he's done over at PSG and what he's doing now at Chelsea, now the hindsight of what he's actually all about 5 years after his sacking in 2019, would you still have given him the chance to stay on at Spurs beyond 2019 after that Champions League final if you'd known what he was going to win over at PSG and what he's doing now at Chelsea? Or would you still have pulled the trigger on him and hired Jose Mourinho nonetheless?
What he did, what he was able to do at PSG, I felt like it was that's kind of what they're supposed to do. He got handed a job where they kind of knew the result where it was supposed to be, and no, he was there long enough to where you could have won a FA Cup. He did to Destiny's point. He did flirt with United and Real Madrid and be like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe I let them come tickle me." Hey, don't be flirting when And that's, again, back to me being petty. And this is, some people are able to forgive and forget and like move past and see beyond things. And like that, I respect that too. I respect it all. I'm just me personally as a very petty individual. When you do that, we don't really have the success. You move on, and it's like we just lost Solomon there. But I don't know. No love lost. I have no ill will towards him, except in his professional life while he's a manager of Chelsea. Anyone who manages Chelsea, I hope bad things for. That's just the nature of the beast. I am a tribalistic football fan first and foremost. So I don't know. There he is. Big up. Anyway, enough about Pochettino. Enough about Pochettino. I want to talk about something else here. Luton Town.
Yeah, Luton.
First, I want to go around
Hatters.
and I want to get everyone's opinions on Luton's season thus far since they've come up. Obviously, Tottenham have them next. They come to North London. AK, I'll start with you. I was on a show with a City fan named Mr. Vader Games TV. That's
Yeah,
who it was.
Vader.
And he said Luton away is going to be a tough fixture for any Big Six club. Now, we won 1-0 there. Arsenal won by a goal in stoppage time from Declan Rice. Remind me what City did versus Luton this season. And what are your thoughts on Luton thus far?
Not gonna lie, Luton has just amazed me in so many ways. I'm just trying to come up with words to explain how they have done it. First of all, of course it wasn't easy when we faced Luton away. I mean, they have top quality players, especially Ross Barkley, then Chong, then yes, so, I mean they are top talents in that club, and they've been known to give us a big challenge away. Even also when they come to North London, they're gonna give you a hard challenge. Trust me. I mean, the manager, he's done a superb job with that playing 11. And
it says
I
here
would
by
say-
Ronnie, Luton have 10 players out injured. Biggie believes they have 11 injuries. I'm trying to find that information out because they have some good players. I don't know if necessarily anyone said that they had top quality players when the season started. There was only one player that I had my eye on, and that was I forget his first name, Adebayo. I saw him in the playoffs for Luton when they won the playoff. Like their 2 wins in the playoffs to get promoted, and I was like, wow, this is a large winger. He's pretty fast. Wonder how he shapes out in the Premier League. He missed an open chance versus us, and I was like, well, I guess his finishing isn't that good. But then his finishing starts coming around, and he's actually doing pretty well in that regards. But I'm looking here. Let me share this tab, and It shows here. Oh, shit. Where is it? I'm on the wrong layout. Oh, hey. We got another caller joining us. Let me see.
great, more callers.
We've got. Wait a second. I'm fucking up. My layout's messed up, man. My layout is messed up. There he goes. He disappeared. See if I can bring him back. Let's do this. Let me do this. Jose, hang with me, buddy. You're tiny right now, but we're gonna make it. I'm gonna sort this out, my guy. But big up, Jose. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm not bad. Tiny right now. That sounds really good.
Yeah, my layout. I had it all. I don't know what I'm doing over here, But big up, man. How are you doing on this fine Thursday? We're just actually started talking about Luton. We've been kind of talking about the Premier League in general, other clubs, managers, and their projects, a little bit of ours. And we were just beginning here on Luton. Talk to me about. So I was looking, and apparently, let me see if this will work. Oh shit!
10 injuries.
See,
Yeah, Luton have got a lot of players out.
Don't tell me Ross Barkley is one of them.
let me see. I don't see. He's not on the injury report that I'm looking at. I see
No, I
Tom
don't think he
Lockyer,
is.
Amari Bell, Marvelous Nakamba, Elijah Adebayo, Daniel Potts, Gabriel Osho, Mads Jewel Anderson, Jacob Brown, Albert Sambi Lakonga, Alfie Doty's doubtful, and Ponzu's doubtful. So they have 3 doubtful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out. Yeah. So I think we just lost somebody too. I'm trying my hardest to sort this. I think AK just dropped.
I've never seen your screen like this. It's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, here we go. And then we've got, here we go. How about this? Let me remove that. I'm gonna figure it out, man. It's really distracting and making it very difficult to do this thing here, but surely, but don't call me Shirley, Jose. We should go get 3 points, right? Versus Luton.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying I would just come off. I've done my own show just now. I've just come off, and I saw that you was on. I thought I'm going to quickly say hello. To me, I felt that Luton, when we beat them at Kenilworth Road, we had players sent off, and when we played them and we got that 1-0 victory, it was so hard, such a hard fought game to beat them at Kenilworth Road. But the 3 forwards they had playing that day, for me, on the eye, I'm not looking at stats or anything, but for me on the eye watching that game, they're the hardest forward line we've played against all season. They ran our defence ragged. They were so quick, breaking on us, trying to get in behind us, and that their strikers had frightening pace. But 2 of them 3 strikers are now out injured. So you've got Ogbene is out injured.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy whose name escapes me, but he's got another. So the only one that would be playing will be Calvin. It'll be the one who plays
Carlton Morris.
Carlton Morris, yeah, the one that plays down the middle. He'll play against us, but the other 2 that they had playing in the forward 3, they're both out injured at the moment, and they were super quick, super rapid. Regardless of all that, to me, I mean, I do the predictions with what's his name, with the Irish Hotspur, the content creator predictions. So I don't really want to give out my prediction before he's put the content out. But I've got us winning this game comfortably. I just
Yeah,
think
with the injuries, you have a better chance.
Yeah, but I've got it winning. But I think what it is, AK. Nice to meet you, by the way. What I think I think we're owed a performance. I think the players owe the fans a performance. I think they owe the manager a performance. I think they let themselves down in the last game, and I think they just owe a performance. And it doesn't matter who we were going to play next. It just so happens it's Luton, and I just think that we're owed a performance. And I'm hoping that they've got the right frame of mind and that they come out and give this performance on Saturday. Sorry, go on. You'll see that's coming through.
I agree with you, but I definitely want to pull this up. Big up Ellie with the very generous donation to become a sponsor here tonight. It says, here's a super chat for your pending newborn baby girl, Jacob. Big up to you as a dad. You're a good lady. I thought she was saying I'm a good lady. Yeah. She says, big up to you as a dad and to your good lady as her mom to buy her something nice. Big up, Ellie. I do appreciate your big generosity. Thank you so much as well for sponsoring tonight's episode and for thinking about myself and my baby girl. Again, she's going to be here between today and 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. Because it was Wednesday, she had a doctor's appointment, and they said either the baby's going to come in the next 2 weeks or they're going to make the baby come in 2 weeks. So one of those 2 is going to happen. But big up, Ellie. Thank you so much for your very generous donation. Dubs in the chat for Ellie every single time. Yes, she is a diamond. She is Tottenham Hotspur's very own. She's played for Tottenham. She lives, or she's from the area. I call her the Queen of North London. We all love Ellie here. There's not a channel you could go to in the world. If they know Ellie, they all love Ellie, and that's a guarantee. Big up, Ellie. I appreciate you being so generous. Look, there's been 88 votes in the show so far, and 88% of the 88 votes think Tottenham get back to their winning ways. So Jose, sorry. I'm so used to saying Jose for Mourinho. 88% agree with you, my friend. Chang, I'm going to ask you, how do you see this going versus Luton on Saturday?
It's going to be a cagey affair. This has been the story of Tottenham's season this season thus far. I couldn't care less whether it's at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or even away on the travels. Tottenham have always made it difficult for ourselves, even in games where you'd expect us to just show up, roll the opposition, and waltz away with all 3 points. Sadly, that's often not been the case this season, and regardless of how many injuries, how many suspensions, or just how decimated the Luton Town team is going to be when they show up at N17, I am still expecting it to be a very tightly fought affair. It's going to be a very one of those hit and miss, or rather a very win it by the hair sort of score lines. I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win for Spurs. As much as I would like to see Vicario pick up another clean sheet at home, just the way he did, just like the way he did away at Crystal Palace. No, not the Crystal Palace. Sorry, it was Villa. It was Villa. The clean sheet. As much as I would like to see him get a clean sheet, this might be a game too soon after that drubbing away at Fulham at Craven Cottage. So I'm going for a narrow 2-1 prediction for this. I really do hope to see Richarlison start the game, or at least play his part at some point, and for him to get a goal now after everything that has been through, after the interview they've seen, and the way he just made his feelings clear on where he is right now mentally as a footballer. Seeing him on the score line or on the score sheet together with maybe a Son Heung-min or even a Timo Werner, because we all know Timo Werner, there still is a play in there, but that miss, that glaring sitter that he missed at Fulham was I would say it's unforgivable, but it's one of those
Real
things.
quick, I was muted, Chang. I apologize. I was muted. I tried to interrupt you there. I think the mic's a little close to your mouth when you're talking, so it's hard to pick up not a lot of what you're saying, but parts of what you're saying. But I wanted to stop you there because I heard you say Timo Werner potentially on the score sheet, and I wanted to press you on, not press you, but I'm going to press you. You think Timo Werner is going to start? I see Ange Postecoglou going with Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, and Son through the middle, regardless, even if Richarlison was healthy or not. But it came out today he's got something going on. He's not. You said Werner on the score sheet. Do you think he's going to start, however?
Yes, I do. I fully expect Timo Werner to start, and I fully expect Brennan Johnson to be our impact super sub for this home match against Luton. For me, Timo Werner needs confidence, and we saw that as early as Palace at home. That one-on-one chance where he had the whole of the entire opposition half to run against Sam Johnstone, but he somehow rather didn't manage to round the keeper to make it 1-0 at halftime. That shows lack of confidence. And before the away game against Fulham at Craven Cottage, he had something like 2 league goals in 2 games, which I thought was good for him. I thought he would actually carry that the momentum forward into the game, but that sadly wasn't the case. Which, to be fair, he had his chances to make to make it 3 league goals in 3 league games. For me, Timo Werner needs starting game time. He needs to start. He needs minutes on the pitch, and Brennan Johnson is most effective, I felt, whether it was Brentford at home or even Wolves at home. He's best coming off the bench when you need fresh legs and you need the pace to frighten the opposition. I believe Senor Garcia himself has mentioned it time and time again. pace kills. Pace wins you games, and it even creates chances and openings simply out of nowhere. Imagine having prime Gareth Bale, or rather, imagine having a very, very young and unnurtured Gareth Bale, a Welsh Gareth Bale that to add to that, coming on off the bench for Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That for me is Brennan Johnson, and I know that he isn't the finished product. I know he still has a lot to learn under Big Ange and working his way around this Ange ball system. But Timo Werner simply has to start if we are to, get anything going down that left wing that we saw time and time again when he came on against Fulham. And yeah, Timo Werner is a sure starter for me. And let's see how Brennan Johnson does coming off the bench this time around against Luton Town.
Fair enough. AK, what do you think? If you're Tottenham Hotspur, do you think you start Brennan Johnson or Timo Werner at the left wing? Sounded like a call.
I mean, it's a tough one though, because both of them have equal attributes in the wing. So I would say I would definitely start Timo Werner. I would start Timo Werner.
Okay, that's two Timo Werners. Jose, what are you thinking? Werner over Johnson? I thought for sure it'd be Johnson.
Chang has listened to me too much because he's already commented on what I say. Pace kills. What I'd like to see is Werner, Johnson, and Son start. However, following on from this week and following on from what I've seen so far in the season, I'm a bit concerned with Johnson because Johnson's a young man, and obviously Johnson, he's come to us, but I'm not exactly sure, and there could be other players as well in the team that are not fit for the game the games and the style that we've got to play. But Johnson played against Finland on Thursday, and he got subbed right in the second half. He came off. He played in Wales's biggest game in their history because it's this European Championships they had to qualify for, and he played against Poland, and he's meant to be their leading light and leading man. He came off after 70 minutes. So my concern with him is he's just not fit for the rigours of playing lots of games of football. So with that being said, I would probably go against what I want to do and see strictly pace, and I would probably say that Werner starts over Johnson on Saturday because I just don't think he's got it in him to get a 90-minute game. But I prefer to have them three up front. But I think that with what I saw with the international break, I've got a feeling that it'll be Werner, Son, and Kulu now.
You know, I agree with you there, Jose, that I would like to see, because we actually have, that's not a front three that we've seen start out a match, which Werner, Son, and Johnson. Because Kulusevski for me as a winger, I'm not really impressed, and he's admitted during this international break that he sees his future through the middle. So I agree with you, Jose. I would like to see that front three personally. I just think I don't know what to make of Kulusevski really, because we activated his clause before we appointed Ange Postecoglou. Now Ange is just trying to figure out where the hell to put him, and to me, I thought his future was in the middle, maybe as a James Maddison backup, but then he started getting bodied in the midfield, and it was like, okay, clearly he's not strong enough to hold up play in the midfield. And then it's like he thinks he's strongest attributes through the middle, and I'm just failing to really know where I really see him going forward in this system. Maybe as I just don't know. Let me ask Salman here. Salman, if you're there, my friend.
Yep. Yeah, go on.
I want you to weigh in here on the front three of Tottenham. What would you start if your AK says Werner over Johnson? A few of us Spurs fans are coming up with creative ways to come up with our front three that hopefully we'll see. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? But where do you kind of see it? What's your opinion on Brennan Johnson as a winger as well?
Is Maddison fit?
Allegedly. I mean, he just got an assist for England.
Oh,
I would
okay.
assume
So
so.
I think Timo Werner on the left, Kulusevski on the right, and Son up top, with Madison in the 10.
So you're going
If
Timo
Madison-
Werner over Brennan Johnson then?
Yeah, I think Johnson can be good after 65 minutes. I don't think he should be starting. From what
You know,
I've seen of him.
I mean, I can't
Timo
disagree
has
with you
pace
there.
also.
So is it? What is the differences here between Timo and Brennan then? Because Brennan has pace. Is it that Timo's more composed? Do we think? What do we think? Timo offers more? Because it's a pretty resounding yes
got
that
the
Timo
stamina.
should.
He's got the stamina. He can play. If he needed to play a 90-minute game, I have more trust in Werner being able to give us a 90-minute performance than Johnson at the moment. I think the stamina levels for both of them are different. I think Johnson's off and has been since he's come to the club, and he cannot. I can't see him breaking and playing a 90-minute game. If he starts, he's going to be subbed, and if he comes on, he gets the last half an hour. So, and I just see Werner being able to put a 90-minute. He's got stamina to play 90 minutes. That's the only reason why I'm saying Timo at the moment.
So then let me throw this around. Now you've got me thinking. Jose, you're saying Timo at the moment over our $50-some million signing. Are you picking up Timo Werner's option then?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's where we are now. Where we are
Okay.
now. Where we are now. I said it when I talked about it earlier. Johnson, for me, he's played in the Premiership. He's coming to us, and he doesn't seem to be fit enough. He doesn't have that stamina to play the full game, and also as well when he's going away with his country in two of their most important games. And I understand you can save the guy because they were winning 3-1 or 4-1 when he came off the pitch against Finland, but the fact that in their biggest game he had to be substituted after 70 minutes is concerning. And if you watch Johnson,
You don't think it was a tactical decision?
who were they going to bring on? Who replaced him? That was going to bring on
Dan
and start
James?
scoring goals? Dan James ain't an out-and-out goal scorer.
But he's kind of a winger, forward winger.
Yeah,
like him.
he's a winger, but Johnson offers more goal potency for me than
Because
what
they kind of
Dan
run
James
with two at the top, right? Don't Wales kind of run with two at the
Three.
top, and Brennan's
two feeding Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore's the middleman, was the middleman against Poland, and they're two feeding off Kiefer Moore. So they played
because
a three.
when they were playing in the groups in the group stages still, or the qualifying group stages or whatever, it looked like Brennan Johnson was like a right forward, and they had two up top. But this is Kiefer Moore wasn't starting in this; he was off the bench, and it was Brennan Johnson and I
Brooks.
can't remember.
Was it Brooks that was playing?
Brooks. Yeah, I think
Harry
Brooks
Wilson.
and Wilson
Harry
was like
Wilson
their
was
10.
playing.
Yeah.
So Brooks played the false nine because Brooks isn't a forward, but he played the false nine when they've played Brooks.
Yeah.
The false nine.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, when people rate players, they like to say, oh, well, let's take the international performances out of it. Especially whenever I try and say Cuti Romero is, per Lionel Messi, the greatest defender to ever grace us with his presence. But that's just Lionel Messi. Everyone's got their own opinions. Lionel Messi, you may know him. Some of you may or may not know him. Fantastic little footballer. But I don't know if Chang, do you see it as an indictment on him? The fact that Wales couldn't get a full 90 out of him in their most important game. I do agree it was their most important game. And the game that I watched was Greece versus Georgia. And Kostas Tsimikas, who's often Greece's best player, was their worst on the day. And it was their biggest game as well because they win and they're in. And instead, Georgia made history without Kvaratskhelia even on the pitch at the time when they made the history. So
And 10 men. They played with 10 men. They played with 10 men from the first half. They had a player sent off in the first half. Georgia. They played with 10 men.
No, they didn't have a
against
player
Greece.
sent off in the first half. No,
They did. Georgia played with 10 men. I'm sure they did. Georgia.
no,
definitely
the
played
red
with 10 men.
cards. If you saw the red cards, it was because at halftime, a manager for Greece and a manager for Georgia both got red carded because
I
at
thought only
halftime there was a
one-
little dust up.
I thought there was only one red card in the game, and it went to a player from Georgia. Is what my understanding was. Might be wrong.
They may have technically rescinded one and gave but the red cards that were distributed during the 120 minutes was to the man, like or it was a player on the bench. It was people on the bench
Okay,
for getting
alright,
in a player's
okay.
face. Like it was right when he blew halftime whistle. Then they kind of got in a dust up and started fighting,
Right.
and that's when things started changing. So
Yes, it seems to be what the Georgians and the Greeks would do is have a fight. Yeah.
big up Zapur.
Sapur!
Yo,
Hey, I like
Yeah.
that Bulls tee, my friend. How you doing?
I got my Rodman jersey.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I don't even know. Oh, we were talking about Brennan Johnson.
Shall I go ahead
Jacob,
and
can I come in?
Sorry, go ahead, AK.
Yeah. Actually, I just want to make a vital point between Timo Werner and Brendan Johnson. The thing with Brendan Johnson is he has stamina, but after 60 minutes, you see him drop his stamina, and I've observed over the last 5 games that he is lacking a bit of technicality on the wing.
Let's see here.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Timo Werner with years of experience in Chelsea and Leipzig can add value to that. Can add value to that front three, unless Ange Postecoglou utilizes him properly.
Interesting. I promise I was listening. I was just editing this layout to make Zapur not so small. Zapur, I'm gonna bring you in on this. What's going on with Brennan Johnson? What's going on with Timo Werner? Who are you starting versus Luton Town?
At this point, I'm just counting who misses the most sitters between Werner and Johnson. So I'm definitely putting Kulu in because he doesn't miss like them at least. But he also doesn't get those same opportunities because of his pace. But I'm just so sick of missing those sitters. It's getting ridiculous. We should have at least tied last game just because of how many sitters we missed. Deciding between Johnson or Werner it's a toss up. It's either one's. Their styles are similar, so either one is fine for me. But Kulu must be in.
Kulu must be in. Well, I'm gonna make you pick Werner or Johnson right now.
Dude, that breakaway scarred me. I still can't believe he missed that one.
Which
I gotta
one?
go
He's
with
had 3
Johnson.
to my recall.
The one it was
First
from
one
the
versus
halfway
United?
line. I think Skip maybe got it.
Yeah,
Oh no,
Skip
Sonny did.
played him in.
Sonny gave it to him.
No. The first one he missed was Skip played him in at Old Trafford, and beautiful pass from Skip, beautiful space. Timo Werner 1-on-1, he fluffed it. The second one I believe was from Heung-min Son. The third one I believe may have been Højbjerg that did the third one. I don't remember exactly, but someone could correct me.
Yeah. I guess it's Johnson for me for now, but I'm not. It's a toss up, man.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a conundrum there in regards to our wingers. Let's talk about the midfield for Tottenham. Chang, I'll throw it to you first. Who's
The
your starting
midfield
midfield? I
three-
see you laughing there.
Yeah, the midfield tree I think should have picked itself if everyone is fit. But seeing how Bissouma was so lackluster and just couldn't give a toss really away at Fulham, away at Craven Cottage against Fulham, it brings a lot of doubt to me whether he's a proper big Ange player in his Ange ball system. I would have reverted back to Bentancur, of course, beside Pape Matar and Madison. But we know that Bentancur himself is also struggling with a broken or dislocated toe. if I'm reading the reports right. So for me, the midfield three would be Højbjerg. I know if Queen Ellie is listening to this, I'm sure she'll be thrilled to hear this. But Højbjerg and Pepper Matasar behind Madison, that would be my midfield three, unless Big Ange decides to utilize Kulusevski in midfield. If Kulusevski is going to be pushed back to midfield, it's going to be Kulusevski, Pepe Matasar, and Brennan Johnson, provided Madison, provided Brennan Johnson and Timo Werner are on the wings together.
All right. Very interesting there. Jose, what do you think about that? Are you agree? You disagree?
Right, so the way that I'm looking at it is, for once, our players have come back from international duty, the ones that have gone, that is. And instead of having a recovery day when they get back, because they've usually played both games in the international break, we have got a whole lot of players coming back that have played either no matches or have played minimal time over the two games. So instead of giving them a recovery day, they've come straight back into training, which is a plus for us. Now, with Basuma didn't get called up by Marley, so Basuma has stayed back and he's trained with Ange and the coaches for 2 weeks. Obviously, the people that don't go into national duty have still got their day job, so they train at Tottenham. So for 2 weeks, he would have been under the nose of Ange Postecoglou for the whole 2 weeks because he didn't get selected for Marley. So unless he's impressed, with beyond doubt, he's impressed him in the 2 weeks that he's been training, then he gets a start again. But for me, my midfield three is I would put Bentancur in the 6. I ain't even talking Højbjerg now. Højbjerg for me is leaving the club. So for me, for the 10 games,
his comments were a little like the original quote I saw didn't seem so damning, but then I saw the whole quote and I was kind of like, huh. The part where he said it's up to the manager to explain why I'm not playing. I'm doing all that I can to get the start. It's up to the manager to pick. So when it comes to why I'm not getting picked, that's up to the man. It's interesting. I'm sorry.
I'd play Bentancur for me. Bentancur, because Bentancur didn't have loads of game time with Uruguay either. A lot of our players didn't have a lot of game time. The only player that played both games was Sonny. Played 2 games of 90. Apart from that, a lot of players have not played that much. So I would play him if Sarr's fit, because Sarr didn't play the second game for Senegal either. So if Sarr's fit, then I'm going to go in with Bentancur, Sarr, and Madison. I think Basuma's not done much for us in the lot since his return in January from the AFCON and from his suspension. I don't think he's done much to warrant a place in the starting 11. He's been given his chances. He's played about 5 games on the spin now. I just don't think he starts. Are you muted, Jacob?
Yeah,
you're muted.
Wow, how great of a host that is. As I'm sitting there saying, want to say shout out to all the people that are coming on over from This Is Football, the Hassam Raid. Big up to every single one of you. We're previewing Luton versus Tottenham. There's over 100 people in the house on YouTube and about 50 of y'all on Twitter. So whatever you're watching on, make sure you are hitting a like. We are over an hour. The show won't be going on forever, but we do have another member to add to this panel, and it's Queen Bentancur. It's not Queen Ellie. Look at that. Look at that. Who we got. But big up everybody who came on over. Whether you're here for a short time or a long time, go ahead and hit that like. Participate in the poll. Let me know what you think and hit a like on the video. Those are all free. You can hang out and chat as well. That's free. If you're a member of the show, the link to call in is in the community section of this YouTube channel. But Ellie, welcome to the show. Chatsport says Timo's son Kulu. Zapur says Kulu must start as one of our wingers. We have presented a few different options here. So before I ask you about the midfield, Ellie, I want to ask you, how are you? And what is the front three that you're picking? And you're on mute, Ellie, if you're trying to talk.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something different, right? I'm gonna play Richie on the Richie on
Richie's
the
injured.
left.
He's injured though, Ellie.
He's injured.
not
Yeah,
playing.
Is
they
he?
came out
He's
today.
out
hasn't
completely.
played.
Yeah, his
How did he
knee.
get injured? He hasn't played.
Don't know. It came out today into the club. The club said he's not going to be
Training.
around.
Okay, then, so he's out of the equation. So I would start Johnson, just for the pure fact that even if he runs out of steam after 60, 70 minutes, he's better than Werner. I just don't like Werner. He's just he misses he misses too many chances. He's had so many chances to score, and he scored two, like basically put on a nutshell for him. They were, my dead grandmother could have scored them, like Mia said. Right, so I would start Johnson because he offers you more overall, in my opinion. But they're both pants, both players. I wouldn't start them if they weren't at our club. But you know, we have to start one of them. So I'd pick Johnson just for the pure fact that he can score more goals and he's assisted more as well in the short roles that he's had. He's not really had that many starts, but I would definitely start Johnson.
Johnson on the left for you then. Very nice.
Yeah.
So Ellie, I'm going to ask the question I think that everyone's burning to know. Your name says Queen Bentancur. Højbjerg's been benched.
No, but the thing is, I was going to go Queen Bentancur because I know Højbjerg's going to leave, so I thought I'd ease him in. But then everybody's left my name like that, so I just left it. You know, it makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Who
it does
let
make
me
it
go
interesting.
for? Bentancur or Højbjerg?
I'm definitely going Rodrigo, despite the fact
Yeah,
that he hasn't looked
Bentancur.
100%. But
He
who's
did-
your starting
he's got a
midfield then,
broken
going
foot
into
as well,
Luton?
hasn't he?
So yeah, he has a
He's got
broken toe.
broken toe.
Yeah, he does. He's got a broken toe. Why is he playing with a broken toe? Like,
That's
why would
what
you
I
do
wanna
That's my
know.
question.
that? Is that a
That's what I
failure
wanna
on the
know.
medical
Hard.
staff, or is that a failure on him? And because there was a quote that came out. Ange Postecoglou did say that Bentancur came back sooner from injury than he planned to because he was seeing how many injuries we were having in the midfield, and he felt the need to step up and help, even if he was not completely 100%. And he was like, "Love that for the guy," and then he kind of hasn't been himself. So to me, that kind of says he's not really 100%, and he hasn't been. And it comes out during the international break that he has been playing with a broken toe. Now, he did make substitute appearances for Uruguay, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't start in either of their matches. But for me, who is he starting over? Bentancur, because I'm going Sarr, Basuma, and Madison in my midfield personally. I know Basuma hasn't been great, but benching him doesn't give him the chance to turn his form around. Now, I know he was, for the first 9 matches, we were all through the moon about him. And then Sarr went out with a hamstring injury, I believe it was, and then his performance dropped. And then Luton the first time happened, and he got sent off. And then he had another one, I think it was against Nottingham Forest. So he hasn't really been the Basuma we saw in the beginning of the season. Is everyone and Jose, I'll start with you, and I'll go around. Basuma, are you benching him in form for Bentancur? Where are you at with Basuma?
Like I said earlier, he didn't get selected for Mali, so he's been at Tottenham Hotspur away.
He had
training.
malaria. Mali's they give him malaria, and then they're like, "Fuck you." That's kind of cold shoulder, Jose.
I don't think the manager's words were exactly as you're saying. I saw the comments that the manager made, and read between the lines the comments the manager's made, and I think he was kind of saying he's not pulling his weight for us, so he's not been selected to go. So he's been under Ange and the coaching staff for the 2 weeks. The only way that he plays tomorrow for me is if he's done something extraordinary in them 2 weeks and forced himself to keep that berth in the 2 weeks that he's been training. Other than that, if that doesn't happen, then for me, Bentancur starts all day long. Regardless of his broken toe, he's one knee, he's no ankle, he still starts for me. Bentancur starts for me, and Bentancur will be stronger next season. But for me, he starts now. I just think he's quality, and we need that. I've got more trust A half-fit Bentancur, I've got more trust in than what I have in Basuma. I don't think Basuma's shown it this side of 2024 since he's come back. And I think he started the last 5 or 6 games, been given the chance, and he hasn't done nothing with it.
Fair enough. Chang, do you feel like Jose and Danny Kiriakou here says Basuma's playing like Ndombele, a highly paid twat who won't give 100% effort? Do you think that's true? Where do you see it?
The way I see it right now, I will base this purely on what I'm seeing on the pitch during live telecast, and also their aptitude and their application during training that we see oftentimes on YouTube. For me, if Bissouma is not in the right frame of mind to give his 100% for the club and for Big Ange, he doesn't start. Simple as that. I completely agree with Senor Garcia and what he's saying about Bentancur and how him being class and all, and just what he offers to the team, to the Ange ball system, and also to the fans when he takes to the pitch, regardless of whether he's struggling with a niggling injury or a setback from his recovery. I feel that he still has a lot to offer, although with what we've seen with Mickey van der Ven and his recurring hamstring disc injury, rather than aggravate that broken toe at home against Luton, I would urge the medical team or the medical staff, if we even have any to begin with, to assess him properly, because we know the games are going to come thick and fast after this, and I really wouldn't want to risk Bentancur playing the full 90 if it means him, aggravating that toe and missing out on really big matches that we can ill afford to miss out on any other midfielders that we have in our roster. For me, if Bentancur is going to start, good for him. But if it's not feeling up to scratch, pull him off, haul him off as soon as the hour mark. If we are leading by a healthy margin, the midfield three should still be James Maddison up front with Pepe Matasar behind and Højbjerg beside him. Bentancur can come on as a substitute if we are, say, in need of his creativity or even his holding midfield play from deep, if that's what Big Ange has in mind for him. So for me, be very careful with how we utilize Bentancur against Luton, because we still have 9 very big games to come, whether it's against Manchester City or Arsenal at Tottenham Hotspur, or even away at Chelsea and Liverpool. So yeah, Bentancur, treat him with care. Back to you, Mr. Walraven. And with that, I have to take my leave, everybody.
Yes.
I'm
big up, Chang.
Big up,
Take care, my friend. Good luck at work today.
Have a very have a fantastic weekend ahead, everybody. I hope to see each and every single one of you very soon. Thanks again for having me on your Members Calling show. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Chang, love to have you on the channel. Love to always have you around in the chat on stream when I can. Again, hopefully we get to see you halftime on Saturday. I'll be dropping the link again in the group chat, so hopefully get you on for the halftime show during that Luton watch along, which we better be up 3-0 at the time. But Chang, always a pleasure, my friend. Take care. My brother, have a great day. I also want to say, treat your day like the cockerel teaches, or treat your day. I'm going to start that over real quick. Treat your day like the cockerel treats that ball every single day. On top, baby. On top. So good luck to your day, my friend. Have a good one. I butchered the hell out of that. I need to come up with better. Zapur, let me ask you, my friend, the midfield, who's your starting 3 midfield, and what are your thoughts on Bissouma?
So at their peak, like Pete Bentancur from last season.
Can you try pulling the mic a little bit? I think it's brushing up against your face or something. I'm getting a crackling. Talk to me now.
Crackling?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Go ahead now. Sorry.
So Pete Bentancur, I would say you definitely want him in, but I don't know what's the business with his broken toe. how bad is it? I don't want them to overuse him, but if he's good to go, Bentancur, Sarr, and Madison, of course.
Okay. Bentancur,
But
Sarr, Madison.
I do think that besides Basuma, Skip needs to look over Højbjerg. I'm pretty much done with Højbjerg.
Was that because of the quote that came out? Is that why you're officially done with it now?
I just don't think he works well in the system. He's got a good ball once every couple of games. I think Skip is a yes man and will do absolutely anything Ainge says. So, yeah, I'd rather see someone who's being a part of the system rather than just passing it back to our cornerbacks every single time.
I think that's fair. AK, let me ask you from a not Spurs perspective, what is your take on Basuma this year? What do you think of him as a player from an outside perspective?
I think he still needs time to develop into the player he's supposed to develop in his position in the midfield wise, but I gotta say he's been average for me. Average.
In total, you're saying average?
Yeah, in total, average this season.
Does Basuma get into your midfield? I hear the intro music in someone's mic. I don't know. I'm not gonna get copyrighted for it, so it's okay.
Yeah, so I would say not yet.
Okay.
At the moment, because at the moment we have Kovacic and Rodri who can serve as a double pivot for us. So I would say Basuma not yet.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I would see it from a rival's perspective. Like, he was very good in the beginning of the season, and he hasn't been good since. And
the
beginning of the season, that was really the drop off has been pretty drastic. Ellie, what say you about Basuma?
Well, he's been very disappointing. We expect more from Basuma, but he doesn't look like his head's in the game. He's lost his mojo. He's not playing well. He's like, I don't know, the chap at the top, what's your name? Sapor? Is it Sapor?
Oh, Zapur. Yeah,
it's Sapor.
Yeah, I don't agree with you about Højbjerg passing it backwards and sideways, because he's the most progressive passer in our team. When he plays progressive balls, right? So I don't agree with that, and the stats prove it as well. But back to Basuma, because I have to defend my man, you see. Sorry about that.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally, right? But Basuma, he's been very disappointing, Jacob, and I don't know what's going on in his head. He goes on the pitch very lethargic, lackadaisy, doesn't look like his body language is caring about, making an impression on the game. And I just find him very frustrating at the moment. So he doesn't deserve a start. He doesn't. And I would start Bentancur because he's class. Even with a broken foot, he will give more than Basuma's giving at the moment, who is passing it sideways and backwards, I must add. And his game is driving with the ball, because we saw it earlier on in the season. He can drive with the ball really well, but he hasn't done any of that. He's just playing the easy pass, right? Which I find very frustrating, because I know that he's a talented footballer and he's just not showing it, Jacob. And it's so disappointing as a Spurs fan to see somebody so talented not to use their talent, and he can affect games really well, because we saw in the first 7 or 8 games, he was excellent and he was cooking. and him and
He
Sarr had a
was.
very good relationship.
Oh, it was. I was going around telling Arsenal fans, you got
Yeah.
Declan Rice for how much? We just got Basuma for 35 last year. We just needed him to be
25. We
happy.
got him for 25. That's
I guess it was 35 euros. Yeah, so it'd be like
35
25 to
euros,
20.
but 25 million. But the thing is, I just feel so frustrated with him because I was watching him against what was the game before Villa at home? Crystal Palace, right? And he was
Crystal
passing
Palace.
he was passing sideways and backwards. And then Ange Postecoglou must have said to him, "Don't you be passing backwards," right? And he butts up his ideas, only slightly though, in the second half, because he was driving with the ball a little bit, but he still wasn't the Basuma I know, right? And he's been like that for a lot of games. So I don't think he deserves to start. I'd rather have Bentancur start with a broken foot and then bring on Skip or Højbjerg and let him stew on the bench till he bucks up his ideas.
Fair
I'm
enough.
harsh, but you have to be harsh as a football manager as well. You've got to make these
Yeah.
tough decisions. And if your player who's talented is not performing, don't play him. So it gives him a wake-up call.
Yeah. I agree with you there, Ellie.
Can I just say
Yeah.
if Højbjerg is indeed leading the stats in that, then he's padding his stats because none of his forward passes are meaningful. I'm not seeing anything from him.
I will say,
Yeah,
for the
you
most
don't
part,
want
I
him like
agree, but there
Højbjerg.
have
played
been.
some very good balls this season. He played one brilliant pass to Brennan Johnson, and he muffed
Yeah, I remember.
it.
I was about
Brennan
to reference
Johnson
that
muffed
too.
it.
Yeah.
He did
Ellie, is
another
that
one to
is that in
Werner.
between stumbling all the time?
Yeah,
Right, like you
Falling
can
on
name
the
off,
falling
you
He's
can
falling
only
name
down on
off
the
fallen
a
over
pitch.
couple,
twice,
but
for God's sake. He's fallen over twice. Do you know Brennan Johnson's fallen over more times?
Yeah, but
And Ryan Hill has fallen over many more times.
Yeah, but it
they
looks
don't do it.
yeah, but it looks
They're baiting you, Ellie. Don't fall for it.
Fan base, but he's fallen over.
but it looks good when
Oh, no.
Højbjerg falls, though, doesn't it? It looks really, really
The,
comical when he
the
falls.
worst one is when he tried to kick it and he fell over. That was really bad.
That
Even
was
I
really
laughed.
bad. That was embarrassing.
That was
That's
very, very bad. I think that,
That's what it reminded me of.
yeah.
And you're really a professional footballer?
You know,
I
do you know
do
what?
want to say a couple things, if I may, Ellie. I think
Yeah.
you'll agree. Like passing, like balls over the top. Højbjerg is one of our best at it, in my opinion.
Definitely.
I think
He never
Romero's our
does it.
best,
You see that ball?
but
he
he
did to
does.
Kane
He
against
does. Now
Leeds?
let's not. Like,
he is good at it, but he never does
I
it.
just he
Yes, he
has,
does.
and when he does, they're usually completed, but they're fumbled by the recipient, and they're
Yes.
not finished by the recipient. But
Harry
there's been
Kane
plenty of
is really
times that
strong.
he's shown that ability that he can do it. But I think I've always said this about Højbjerg. It doesn't matter how long he's out there on the pitch, you're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
Yeah,
the stumbling and
true.
fumbling is a proof of that. Him getting stuck in and winning the ball back. Like I remember there's one time he just got subbed on and he just won the ball back 2-3 times in a row. Gave it to Bentancur, I think it was, and he lost it. And then he went and got it back again. And so he'll show you some good, he'll show you some bad, and then he's going to show you the ugly. And to me, I think we're at a stage naturally where you just have outgrown each other. You know, he wants to do
Can I
those.
just be done with the bad and ugly part?
No,
It's
he
more
he
suited-
resembles Lee Van Cleef just with hair.
No, Højbjerg is more suited to a defensive football. He is.
Yeah. There's a
Right,
reason
but
why he was
he-
the most consistent midfielder in Jose's system.
Yeah, because Jose played him in the right way. Jose is a very good tactician and he knew what he could get out of Højbjerg. Because Højbjerg is not your finesse player. He's your gritty player. He's the one who's going to get stuck in, right? But for this team, you don't need players who get stuck in. You need players to move the ball quickly. Yeah, and he hasn't got that in his game. He likes to step on the ball, look around, and take his time. But it doesn't suit him, that sort of football.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make him
I
a bad
agree.
player. He's just not suited to that style of football. And Kulusevski's not either. But he gets put on the wing, which is silly because he's not a winger. Sorry, but
Yeah.
he's not. He should be a
Well-
false nine.
You know, I will say this. He's ours for now, and we might need him. And who knows? Watch, he's gonna have like the game-winning assist, a ping ball over the top, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh."
Yeah.
But I do. This is exactly what I was about to say. I think that Danny just said. If we're gonna be this big club that we want a player. Oh wait, he says oh, actually, this wasn't what I was gonna say. He says, to be honest, if we were a big club, a player like Højbjerg is exactly what we need if we want a squad full. And I do agree, but I think he is at a point where he's like, I'm not going to be second fiddle. He just sacked his agency and hired a new one. He's definitely making the moves to make his move out of here. He's getting someone who will take his photos and twerk them around. I think his agency paid for the Fabrizio Romano package, which is £6,000, and Fabrizio will tweet about him. So there you go. We probably subscribe for that. And
You know what?
did y'all see
Højbjerg
that?
says-
There's like some Norway club sporting director was like, look at this email we got from Fabrizio's agency, an invoice for 6,000. It was equivalent of £6,000, but
He
it was
makes
like
a lot of
16,000 Norwegian dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, we will take you whatever players you want, like whatever young players you want to promote and boost their name, $6,000, and Fabrizio will tweet about it. You could get the express shipping, he'll tweet about it within 24 hours, or the standard shipping, and he'll deliver a tweet within the week. This man is a fucking enterprise. But anyway, that's why I'm thinking Højbjerg signed up for that. Maybe the beginner's package, just to get every 2000th tweet to be about Højbjerg wanting to leave. So but with all that aside, Luton predictions, since y'all are here, I want to get y'all's Jose, you probably don't want to share yet, you said, I think because of your predictions with the Irish Hotspur, and that's fair. But just give me a brief wrap up, and if you're comfortable, a score prediction.
We win comfortably. We
Comfortably.
we owe.
Do we
owe
keep
a-
a clean sheet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My
Okay,
prediction is a
talking to me
comfortable
nicely.
victory. Comfortable victory with a clean sheet. I've now changed what my thoughts were on the starting 11. If Mickey van der Ven is fit to play, I've now changed my midfield.
Oh.
I'm going in with Bentancur, Gio, and Madison.
So I do have a tweet
Gio,
about Van de Ven.
Gio.
He's taken part in some training, but Ainge, this is per Paulo Queef, says it's up to Ainge to use him. So he's taken part in training, at least a little bit. So we win, we keep a clean sheet, and we win comfortably. I like that. Zapur, unless you have a prediction show that you don't want to give your score predictions out, give me your score prediction. Who's scoring the goals?
This is the only show I'm a part of. Oh man, it's just that our most comfortable win was what, 3-0?
4-0, Aston Villa.
Oh, 4, yeah, right. I say we do it again.
A 4-0?
Yeah.
Okay, a 4-0. Talk to me nicely. AK, wait. No, Zapur, who's scoring the goals? Who's scoring 4 goals for us?
I'm always gonna put Sonny in there. Sonny for one. Johnson, Madison, and your boy Gio Lo Celso.
Oh my God!
the
You're saying he
bench.
even touches the pitch?
I just said I changed my lineup. I'd play Bentancur, Gio, and Madison in midfield. Pure footballers. Move the ball quickly. We're talking about moving the ball quickly. Them three can move the ball quickly.
Pure footballers, they're saying to me.
Jacob hates it.
Pure footballers is what they're saying to me today. That these are pure footballers. I got to wrap up in just a little bit, but AK, Spurs versus Luton. Well, how do you see this shaking out, my friend?
I mean, yeah, given Luton's injuries, I would say you guys have a big advantage, I would say, but unless you capitalize on Luton's problems, I feel it's going to be a 4-2 for Tottenham.
4-2 for Tottenham. All right. Hey, we still win,
4-2
baby.
for
At the
Tottenham.
end of the day. At the end of the day, a win is what I need. I need it. I like a clean sheet. So I will say I prefer Zapoor's prediction over yours, AK, but I like yours nonetheless. Ellie,
Yes, that's my name.
talk to me. Talk to me, Queen. Talk to me.
Say my name. Right. Yeah, I think we're going to win. I think I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. I'm going to say we're going to win 3-0. Right.
Okay.
And I think the scorers is going to be a brace for Sonny. And the other goal's going to go to Romero.
Ooh.
Romero.
That one's for Mia.
Goody, goody, goody. Can't you see?
That one was for Mia.
Sometimes the verse just hypnotize me.
Mia.
Yeah, you already know the song. That's right.
I know that.
Because Romero, he scored 4 goals for us this season. So I think, is he our third highest scorer? I
believe he's up there. I know he's got more goals than Gabriel Jesus.
Oh yeah, Jacob, I forgot who's going to score the goals from my end. So I'm going to say it's going to be Sonny, obviously, your top player. He's going to score. He's going to score, I would say, 2 goals. And then 2 goals from probably Bentancur.
Okay. Bentancur with a brace.
Yeah, Bentancur brace, I'm thinking. Bentancur brace.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Luton's goals, I'm thinking it's going to be Ross Barkley. I know it.
Fucking Ross.
It's going to be Ross Barkley. I know it.
Is Andros Townsend on the injury list?
No, he's been subbed He's been subbed for about the last 5 or 6 games.
So it's either going to be a Townsend goal or a Ross Barkley masterpiece.
Townsend's for sure going to score against us.
He's half Cypriot. Andros Townsend is half Cypriot. So I always had a soft spot for him at Spurs, but I knew he wasn't up to it. So I don't want.
But he plays great against us.
Yeah.
He usually plays pretty good against us. Usually,
got a good
whoever
shot
used to be Tottenham or we were linked with, they always like dunking on us for whatever reason.
Yeah,
so
true.
I've got
got a very
Townsend
good
for a
shot.
goal as well.
He has got a good shot on him, and you remember he played for England a few times as well. He got selected, so yeah. He bought
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel there, huh?
He bought a swim spa from my company some time ago for his mum. So he's a good lad. Just put that one in.
He's a good lad.
He is, but he better not score against us.
Yeah, he better not. What was your score? What was your final score?
3-0. 3-0 to Spurs.
Oh yes. Who's scoring?
Okay, everyone's keeping a clean sheet now here.
2 for Sonny, 1 for Romero.
Yeah, you said that. Yes. All right, brace for Sonny.
What say you, Jacob? Then you tell us yours, mate. I want to hear yours.
What I want and what I think is going to happen are 2 different things.
Give us both of them. Give us both of them.
What I want to happen, I want to see a 5-0. I want to see us with our most comprehensive victory. We're at home. This is a squad that's fighting for life versus a recently deducted point Nottingham Forest. So they're going to be up for it. That means to me, like, for us to do what we did versus Villa, then do what we did versus Fulham, I need a clap back of equal or greater value than the original clap. That's what I need. And that's what I want to see. I need a 5-0. I need better than what we saw at Aston Villa.
Keep in mind, Luton are in the race, are in a relegation battle here. So they're going to go all out against you.
Yeah, and they recently just got out of it because of Nottingham Forest point deduction. So that's what I'm saying. They're going to be up for it. But we're not at Kennyworth Road where everyone seems to struggle.
For a reason.
I mean, they're recently promoted, but every Big Six club has had they've had a decent go at them. I'll put it that way. They've had I think they drew with Liverpool. Arsenal barely beat them. We barely beat them. I can't remember what Chelsea did because it's Chelsea. But yeah, I think City comprehensively took care of them with like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, of course, with the Jack Grealish brace, man, what a game!
So that's what I'm saying. We should go out there and we should get the win. No, 100%. Now,
Yeah, it's not going to be
my
easy,
gut
but
says
then you get
something.
the win. It's not going to be
Yeah,
easy, but you're going to get the win.
my gut instinct is saying that it's not going to be as high scoring as I want. I think it's going to be something more like a 1 or a 2-0, maybe a 1, maybe a 2-1 type of win. I think it's going to be something closer to that because Luton do know how to just sit back, absorb pressure, and hit. And that's what they're going to want to do. And
Different
the first time we
animal away
played
from
them, we
home,
did.
Jacob. Different
We
animal
we
away
did.
from home. I went through the
Yeah.
results. I went through their results away from home, and they're not the same beast that they are at home.
I mean, they haven't had a win in 5 Premier League matches, so they've been on a skid. What does Tottenham do in those instances? We usually allow them to do what they want to do.
Well,
So I got fear. I have reluctance
Yeah.
in regards to this.
What we did in the first 10 games of the season, we need to do in the last 10 games of the season. And
That is as
tomorrow,
good as you can say it. Yeah, I agree.
tomorrow is the first game of the last 10.
So we got to do it, Jose. That's what you're saying. 5-0 just to kick things off in a beautiful sense. I like it.
If we won 5-0, Jacob, mate, I'll be coming. I'll be asking you for my lottery numbers next week.
Real quick, I'm going to run through some of the chat's predictions before we go ahead and end off this members hangout. Big up Ronnie with the Tottenham 5, Luton 2. I can see something like that going on as well. Sleepy Mocha says we lose 3-1. Lower your expectations. Very not a great result there. Destiny says 3-1 Spurs. We can't keep a clean sheet. I've struggled to feel like we're going to keep a clean sheet. Chat Sport says 4-0, most goals in the first half. I could see that as well. Or I could see it being 0-0 at halftime, and then we go and score some goals in the second half. Yanis came in with a 2-0 Spurs. Lee Smithy Smith says easy 6-0. I love that, Lee. I hope that is the case. But look, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end the show there. We've been on about 2.5 hours. So if you haven't hit a like on the video, you ain't going to do it anyway. So, but if you want to hit a like on the video, I encourage you to do so. The poll has 121 votes, and out of 121 votes, 82% says Tottenham get back to their winning ways. And there's 79 likes on the video. So by my math, there's about 50 people, 50 that partake in the poll but didn't like the video. To me, it's a questionable lifestyle, but you are allowed to live the life you so choose. Big up Internet Guy says 5-0. Ryan Mitchell says a Desmond 2-2. Ron Viniak with a 2-0. And Ryan Mitchell says Son with 4 goals in his 2-2 prediction. So 2 own goals and 2 regulars, according to Ryan Mitchell. Very interesting prediction. But that's going to do it. But let me say thank you again to the sponsors of tonight's show, and that's George for gifting 2 memberships. One, we don't know where it went. The other one went to Just a Harmless Potato, who used his then membership chat to tweet the Levy Mbappe emoji. And that's a fun little photo. If you know, you know. And big up to Ellie, who did join the show as well. But big up for your very generous donation to me and my family. I do appreciate that very, very much, Ellie. Thank you. I do appreciate that very much. And who knows? Hopefully I'll be back for tomorrow or the watch along. But again, I do have a very pregnant wife, and I'm not going to relate her to a steaming kettle. That doesn't sound right now that I play it out in my head. So I'm just going to say my wife is very pregnant. I don't know what's going to happen or when I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break, but I will keep you updated. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, like button, all that. Also, the link for Jose's channel, El Tel Cocarel, is in the description of this video. So if you're live, you can find it right there. I'm going to put it into the chat as well real quick. So if you're live, you can just click that link and you can go find Jose's channel there. He does streams damn near every day, right, Jose?
No. I'm back at work, so probably 5 out of 7 days.
Boo work. That's what I say. Big up Smoke for sending a £2 donation. Says hello Smoke, how are you doing? The last final donation and sponsor of the show tonight. Big up. I appreciate that, Smoke. I will put that $2 to good use. I'm going to buy myself a soda. How about that? So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Happy Easter, everyone. Yes, I will be back. Internet Guy doesn't like your mic there, Zapur, but I will be back for sure for the watch along versus Luton. I will be here. screaming as usual, coming up with very immature names for players, and probably offensive things about their looks. But it's all part and parcel for the package that I
Oh
provide
yeah,
here.
Jacob,
on
I
the
forgot to
Watchlongs.
ask you.
What's up?
Are you going to do the watch along for the City versus Arsenal game on Sunday?
No, I won't do a watch along for that. I haven't done any watch alongs for rivals really. I should, but no, it's just because like I feel like people would tune into the Arsenal people and the City people to watch that. So,
Do you know what's interesting this week? All 10 Premiership games this weekend have something riding on them. Every one of the 10 games. It's interesting.
Hey, big up Smoke, becoming an even larger sponsor of tonight's show. Says hello with a super chat and goodbye with an even larger super chat. What a good guy. And that isn't, I see red, and I think that's ours. No, it's Sabosalai. So it's a Liverpool fan. Big up Smoke, Liverpool fan. You'll never walk alone unless it's late at night and the alleyway is dimly lit. And if you are walking alone, that song won't help you, Smoke. But hey, I hope you're never walking alone in a dimly lit alley late at night in a crime-ridden area. But I don't know. I don't know where you live. But it's not in America according to this currency. So just be careful when you're walking through those dark lit alleyways, my friend. But thank you so much for your very generosity. Your first 2 chats were super chats. It's very generous of you. So I hope nothing but blessings for you and your family. And Liverpool, go ahead and win the league for us, will you? Will you go ahead and win the league for us? Because honestly, if I had to pick out of the 3, it's Liverpool then City. You're saying City?
Yeah, I want City to win it. City are going to give Arsenal an absolute, masterclass on Sunday. It's going to be the apprentice versus the sorcerer.
I don't like
If
Manchester
it's City, then at least nothing changes and nothing's new.
Poppy
But what
Pep.
I would say on a global scale, people are going to say we're in a farmers league, and I feel like Liverpool win it, Klopp gets a good go out, and it makes the conversation a little bit better when you say like, you know, in recent history, I don't know, City's won it so damn much that you're right. It's just kind of like the big dinosaur just stepping on the little dinosaur again. But
people need to readjust because there's all this hype about Arsenal. The game is not being played at the Effeminates. The game is being played at the Etihad. And I think people are confused. The game's being played at City. It's not being played at their ground. And, you know, all these people saying we might get a draw, we might do this, we might go and beat them. You need to get yourself your heads checked. They're going to get schooled. Haaland's going to score.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
Haaland scores.
I just need someone to shut Arsenal up because they have been
We'll do it,
scoring
Jacob.
goals
We'll
for
do
fun.
it. We'll do it.
AK, if you don't, I'm coming for your head top, my friend. All right?
I will do it. Trust me. Believe in City.
I believe. Hey, I'm a City fan on Sunday. On Sunday, I say, Pep Guardiola, talk to me, baby. I need some. Come on now. Big up JC. How are you? Do not worry, Jacob. Even if Arsenal manage to win today, Chelsea will stop them in our game with them. I do believe we are going to have a big say in that as well. I think we're going to give them a run for their money and get the full 3 points versus them at our own home. I do think that. I hope so. But we'll find out. But as always, folks, that has been a great call-in, great members hangout. Now, all the members who've been like, Jacob, when you're doing the hangout, who didn't show up tonight, shame. But also shame on me because I'm not good at planning. And I did decide to say, you know what, today will be the hangout. But I did tease it this week, so that's your fault for being away for international duty. So shame. But I'll share some shame with you as well. But look, thank you very much for joining me, AK. Very nice debut on the channel. Zapur, the second time I believe you've been on, second or third time. Big up. Good to have you on.
Yes.
Jose,
Nice.
it's about 4 or 5. I can't even remember now. But make sure you sub to El Tel Cocorel. It is in the description of this video if you're watching on playback. And Ellie,
Yeah.
big up to you. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
sponsoring
make sure
tonight's
you
episode.
sub to Just the Girl Who Loves Spurs as well.
Yes, go subscribe to Kate, Just the Girl Who Loves Spurs. Kate and Jim out there. Make sure you do subscribe over there. I'll put that in the description as well.
I'm part of the channel as well.
And Ellie, Just the Girl Who Loves Spurs. Talk to her nicely.
Ellie's part of everyone's channel.
Yeah,
Ellie's
I am.
dad. So Ellie, technically, when you go around, you better say same thing. Hey, I'm part of United Spurs of America because
I'm
you've
part
got your
of
American. I'm
And-
giving you a green
And
card.
United Spurs of America. Yeah.
And
That's
El Tel
right.
Cockerel.
And El Toco. That's right.
El Tel Cacarel.
Okay, Ellie, where are you next on?
Tomorrow with Ash and tomorrow with Kate. And
Sorry,
Mia.
where are you on with Ash tomorrow?
Friday on Ladies Takeover on
what-
El Tel
There
Cacarel.
you go. So you're part of everybody's channel.
Hey,
Really.
I am.
very nice.
I get about.
But big up everybody. Ellie, as always, it's a pleasure. Big blessings to your husband. He commented on one of the videos and then he deleted it and I can't find it and I couldn't respond to it.
He
But he
deleted
enjoyed
it.
he deleted it. Why did he do that?
I don't know. He's strange, my husband, sometimes.
He is a QPR fan. But shout out all the QPR fans.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it there. Hopefully be back tomorrow, but if not, for sure on Saturday. I hope to see you all there. Again, thank you to my guests, thank you to my members, and thank you to the sponsors of tonight's episode. You know who you are, you beautiful bastards. But as always, folks, stay blessed, stay fresh,
You beautiful
up the
bastard.
lads, you beautiful bastards, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Goose, 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 goose.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.